Pokemon Scarlet.
What's up, everybody? What's
Hello, everybody. How we doing? Good morning. Good bright and early morning, early gang. Welcome in. I see Zando's already popped in and claimed first for the day, and then had to go and drop the llamas off at school. Well, welcome in. Welcome in. We're glad for anybody that's here. I just pinged over in the Discord, so hopefully we'll have even more folks join in this morning. Good morning, Hunter Fam Mom. How are we doing? We are picking our best games of 2022 on Backlogged today. I feel like I'm finally there. I will probably still play more games this year, but I hope there are no other really good games this year. I hope all the games I play this year are awful the rest of the year. I don't want to play any more good games. Obviously joking, but I'm very curious to see if I need to make any adjustments. As of right now, I'm going to make the claims because today is the Game Awards, and I feel like this is the most appropriate time to make these claims. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do that. We're going to, of course, open up our next Pocket Man's Advent Calendar. And then we're playing a brand new game to me. It's not a new game to everybody, but it is definitely one I have never heard of. Thanks for your lurk, Sneaky Pig. This is a game called Off. It's a French role-playing game released in 2008 by the Belgian team Unproductive Fun Time. I know literally nothing about it. With the exception being, you guys know my preferred genre of game is the indie psychological horror. I love Omori. I love games like Undertale. I love Yume Nikki. One Shot. I love all those style of games. And so I was perusing the hashtag, I think it was One Shot because we were playing that at the time. I was perusing the hashtag and looking at some cool art. And in one of the bits of art, somebody had drawn Yume Nikki, had drawn Nico from One Shot, and then had drawn this guy holding a baseball bat. And I was like, what is that? And so I did some research and learned that that is the main character from this game called Off. I don't know. I know like that is the extent of my knowledge, is that this is a game that is considered a cult classic of the caliber of One Shot and Yume Nikki. So we'll see. We'll just see how this game is today. If we play it for today's stream and we're like, hey, nah, then I'll stop. But I have a feeling we'll end up playing this game through to the finish if it is as good as One Shot and Yume Nikki. Let's see for a second how long to beat this game. That's always helpful. 5 hours. Yeah, so I have a feeling we'll beat this game. We will probably beat this game. Man, that is an incredibly small amount of people. We are entering into a real niche today. 25 people have beat this game on How Long to Beat. That's crazy. Let's see how many people have logged it on Backlog. Because we about to. 1.5K. 1,500 people have said they've played this game on Backlog. That's crazy. Like, that's absolutely wild. I don't know what kind of themes this game has, so I'm going to go ahead and slap a mature rating on it. I'm just going to assume that we're going to be talking about dark and potentially uncomfy topics. I don't know that for a fact. I really don't know much about this game. But, I mean, if it's in the same lines of psychological horror as Yume Nikki and One Shot, then odds are we're going to be dealing with thoughts of suicide, suicidal tendencies. We're probably going to be dealing with some real depression, mental illness, those kind of challenges. As I understand it, this is a game about purifying the world. So, I don't know. Maybe it's kind of like an Omori where we're dealing with our own inner thoughts or our own inner problems. I genuinely know nothing. We're going to experience it totally blind, totally together. No spoilers in the chat, by the way. If that isn't abundantly obvious. Let's open up our Advent, then we're going to do our backlog, then we're going to get right into it. Welcome in. I'm glad you're here. The game name is OFF. O-F-F, all caps. We're on day 8 of our Advent calendar today. Oh boy. I'm gonna have to use the X-Acto knife again. This card is stuck. Oh my goodness. You guys, it is like this thing was made for me. What's up, Trombone? Today's Pokemon card is... Show. Ah, look at him! Look at him! Oh my goodness, look at him! He's the best boy! Ooh! This makes it worth it. This makes it worth it. Oh my goodness, I'm grading this, okay? I'm sending it off to the baseball grading company, and I'm grading this card. You kidding me? 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10, best day I've ever had. Oh my goodness. Chat's in the clap for Delibird, folks. What? Stained, hey y'all, watching while playing Lego Skywalker Saga. Yes, it's now on Game Pass. There's another game on Game Pass that is very exciting. Eastward. Contemplated playing that today, but I'll add it to the game list on Tuesdays. You guys, I'm so excited. That was such a good card. Today's a great day. Today's a great day to be a Checkpoint Church member, folks. Because you know what we got today? We just pulled a Delibird card. 10 out of 10 day. Boom. We got the Game Awards tonight. You got a bonus stream. You have an extra long bonus stream tonight where we're going to hang out and chill and compete for the Ultimate Gamer. We're about to play a brand new game that I'm super excited about. It's a great day. It's a great day. I got coffee. I got coffee in my Churches for the Nerds mug. Which, by the way, I think is still available in our merch store. It may not be. It may have been an exclusive. Okay. I see your Gachapon, and I'll do that right now.
Slippy, just a voltage diffuser. And kill up the Gachapon.
Ooh, it's a page out of the book, T-Bone. Nope. No dice. Okay. Let us ask RNGesus what we should read. RNGesus says page 71. That is a page we've already read, so we're going to go to the next closest page that we haven't read. Wow, we've read a bunch of these. Interesting. 83. We had to go all the way to page 83. That's wild. That's a pretty huge jump. By the way, I'll probably turn off redemptions tonight so that we can actually watch the Game Awards, you know? Let me turn on piano. Because I don't want to be like constantly interrupting the Game Awards to hang out. Do you mark the pages once you read them, or do you just remember them? I have an immaculate memory, Trombone. I have an immaculate memory, and I definitely don't put a star in the corner. I definitely don't. Okay, piano. This is page 83 of The Mirror Mural, a book that I wrote whenever I was 10 years old. It's very embarrassing, very cringy, problematic even. Problematic. But it was written by a 10-year-old, and who are you to judge a 10-year-old, huh? Who are you? Who am I? This is presented without context because there are like 47 main characters in this book, and it would be too hard to possibly explain it. So this is the this is the second page of chapter 14. The voices appear again. What is it? Jordan asked, irritated. She was a blonde figure, with her hair pulled up into a ponytail. She had a very petite body with weaponry all over. She had angry eyes and deep devil-like hatred within her. Whoa, what's wrong with you? I asked, surprised at her anger. We've got some new guys in here today, she explained. They're throwing a party and are driving me crazy. She yanked out an AK-47 and shot 3 consecutive shots into the darkness. All 3 hit something that went, ouch. Who are they? I asked. A walrus, every form of blob, a kid named Blue, a random guy with a beard, a lumberjack, and like 4 people I don't know, she replied. But I'll get over them eventually. Tranquilizers always do the job. Nevertheless, why did you come in here? Quick question before I ask the question. Am I inside my own consciousness? I stammered. I'd say that is pretty obvious, she said bluntly. Lovely, I groaned. Do you happen to know why I'm getting so angry recently? Actually, I do, she replied. Think about it. Currently, you're under the influence of multiple personalities. The most prominent as of right now is myself, and I'm quite an easily angered person. You will adopt some of the qualities of the person who is currently the most prominent in your mind. Oh. You guys, listen. Listen, okay? Listen, please. Listen. Wait. Don't go. Please don't leave. Actually go. Go for like go for like 30 seconds, okay? It was a 10-year-old. A 10-year-old wrote this. A 10-year-old wrote this in a very different time, okay? I just want you to understand. No, Hunter fam, we're about to get real shallow. No, don't clip. It's a 10-year-old. It was a different time. I'm a different person. I've changed. You will adopt some of the qualities of the person who is currently the most prominent in your mind. Oh, that makes sense. I'm not going to PMS, am I? No, she laughed a little. At least I do not think so. Don't hold me to that answer. You're kidding, right? I stuttered. How do I get out of here? Just how you got in here, she said. Think. Thanks. No sweat, she said. But stop drawing, okay? We have enough people in here. No. No chats. No chats in that clap. Do not chat a single time in that clap because PMS joke. Not funny. Not woke, Nathan. Not woke. Oh, man. Let's put on some Christmas music. Can we please do anything else? No chats. No chats. Not a single chat shall be had for the PMS joke. What am I? There's a reason that 10-year-old Nathan's favorite movie was like Austin Powers. Nope, no clips, no sending that one to the bishop. No thank you. No thank you, please and thanks. I think that scene might be the only scene worse than the very uncomfortable, I don't know, sexually charged scene between Davis and the circus girl. That was the very first page we ever read. And thankfully, we don't have any clips of that. And we never shall. It doesn't exist. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. What a stream already, huh? Remember how I just said this is going to be a great day? I take it all back. I take it all back. Terrible day. Terrible day. We went from a great day with a Delibird to being canceled. I don't like that. The racism one. Yeah, some of there were definitely some, there weren't like, I was woke enough to know that like, there were certain racist boundaries that I wouldn't leap. But one of the ones that I definitely was too comfy with was anything regarding Chinese or Japanese heritage. And I think it's because I was way too comfy with my manga. And I considered myself, you know, too related to the thing that I was comfortable making those jokes. Thankfully, no more problematic jokes than that. But even then, shame. And they were never, it was more like comedians making fun of Chinese names in the 90s and 2000s. That's really as far as it ever went. Someone save all the links in those clips. Nope, I'm going to delete all those clips now. I'm going to take them all down to the incinerator. I'm going to burn them into pieces. All right, let's rank some games. Let's rank some games, huh? Let's just do it. So, there we go. Problematic jokes? Well, glad I stopped there. We've got to put together our best of 2022. Mom, Nate is on. What's up, Jade Live? Thank you for coming on now and not any sooner. Thank you for not coming on a minute sooner, because that I really appreciate it. Welcome in, Jade. We're playing a game that you might be interested in. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. I had never heard of it, but I discovered it whenever you had just recommended One Shot, and I was obsessed with it, and I was Googling it and doing all the research on the hashtag and following all the art, and it was all just in my zeitgeist. And oh no, no! Don't lurk, don't be on sooner. Just blank whatever you've heard so far out of your mind until up to this point. But it's a game called Off, and it's apparently related to Yume Nikki and One Shot and Undertale and Omori and all those kind of games. So I don't know how spooky it is, but it's an RPG Maker game from the 2000s that apparently has a real deep story and some psychological horror goodness to it. So I'm very excited. Okay, we got to pick our games. I pick our games from our 2022 GOTY list. So this is on Backlogged. This is a little event they do each year, and you can pick your titles for each one. This is when I wish I had the power to just rewind and replay things. Oh yeah, I just like play clips because I might have, clipped a few, just a tad. Yeah, Trombone, you actually can. I don't know if the mods have the ability or not, but we do have the replay feature on the channel. I'm only going to tell you that now that we're done with that problematic chapter reading. Okay, so we're going to do this. I need to look at all the games that I've played. So these are all of the games from 2022 that I've actually played. And I'm going to give them a quick little look over just to make sure that I know what I'm hopeful for. These only count for games from 2022. I'm still playing some more games this year, so it could potentially change, but I don't... there's no big titles coming out from now until the end of the year that I know of. I do have a list of the games that I played. This is the 2022 games, at least. So now we're going to take this list, and we're going to figure out where they fit into this one. Did you finish the games you play? The games that I've finished are these. So they're not all from 2022, but these are all the games that I've rolled credits on this year. So 45 games this year. I have no idea what all I've played this year, despite having a list of those games from Twitch. So the reason I started doing this was actually because I wanted to list it under our channel to say what games we've played on this channel. Only finished 31 this year, but played a whole lot more. Yeah, games I've played this year. Every game I've played this year would be tough to find. I probably have it out there somewhere, but I don't know where. I'd have to put that one together. I wonder if it's under my stats. Let's see if it's under my stats. No. Nope. No statistics for this particular year. I do love lists. I would say I finish most of the games that I play, but definitely not all. Okay, we got to do this again. So if you've never used Backlog, you can apply filters to it. I'm going to apply the 2022 filter. That way we only are choosing games from this year. Point. I know I haven't played that many. I've started a ton of MMO, so those don't count. Let's see, but I don't have those keystrokes memorized at the moment, so I can't actually use that while driving. Well, as a clip, I have the keystrokes memorized, so I can do that without looking while driving. Got you. Yeah, but I wanted to put a list of games we've actually played on stream, like in our About section, because I see people on Twitch do that, and I want to do that too, because I like it. All right, let's start from the bottom up. Best multiplayer, I haven't really played any multiplayer games, is the thing. I don't really like multiplayer games. They're not my, steez. They're not what I'm going to be drawn to right away. I'm probably going to have to say Overwatch 2, and that makes me a little embarrassed because that game is really just all right. But that's definitely the Oh, no, Shredder's Revenge. Ooh, yes. Totally Shredder's Revenge. Yes. That's better than Overwatch. Yeah? I don't know. I still really like Overwatch. Dang, that's tough. Those are really the only 2 multiplayer games that I've played. Trying to get a list of every game I've ever played, but it's taking a long time. Yeah, this is what I use, and I have most of it. What I'm doing, Jay, is I'm going every year and I'm making a top 10 list for each year. And that's how I'm finding, I go through the first 10 pages and I just say every game I've played while I'm finding the top 10. And so I'm finding a big chunk of the games I've played. I'm sure there's more obscure ones, but I'm just kind of doing it 1 week at a time and working my way back. Currently we're in 1998, I think. I think next week will be 1998. So I'm working my way back, slowly but surely. Jay, please send me your Genshin ID in a message. Genshin Impact. Genshin, I wonder if it's winning. Did you guys see that it was doing pretty well in the Game Awards Player Choice? The Game Awarded. Oh no! No, don't tally the votes. Tell me. Aw, okay, well, I guess we'll find out tonight, but it was leading. It was Genshin and Sonic were the top 2, so we shall see. I think I'm going to have to go with Overwatch. I feel a little guilty about it, but I think we're just going to... Oh. Okay. I don't really like this. Can't I just type it in? Do I have to have this weird little scroll bar? I guess this is fine. All right, it's Overwatch. Let's see. Best soundtrack. Well, if that's the case, I'll just do it like this. Best soundtrack of 2022... Milk Inside a Bag of Milk should not count. It did not come out this year. Oh, I know the best soundtrack. It is definitely Not Another Advent Story. Downloaded Genshin on my phone, but I didn't get far. I might load it on the computer later. I really enjoyed my hour or 2 with Genshin. I'll do your movie game after we get done with this list, Zando. That's fun. I'm using a website, but I'm going through consoles too. I've looked at every console game up to PlayStation 1 now. Yeah, so you're just doing it by console rather than by year. I can get behind that. Okay, let's see. Best soundtrack. I'm not gonna lie, it might be Sonic Frontiers. Xenoblade was pretty good. Sonic Frontiers was pretty good. I really enjoy the Scarlet. I'm not gonna lie, and it has Toby Fox, so maybe I'll do Scarlet Violet. It's between Scarlet Violet, Sonic Frontiers, and Xenoblade. I'm gonna go Sonic. Sonic got the best soundtrack. All right, best art direction of this year. Let's see. Xenoblade was pretty gorgeous. Endling was pretty gorgeous. Citizen Sleeper was pretty gorgeous. Norco was pretty gorgeous. Elden Ring was pretty gorgeous. Arceus was gorgeous in my humble opinion. It might be Endling. I think Endling might be the prettiest game. It might be the prettiest game of the year. I also don't really consider that game of the year. Wasn't that last year? But I guess it says 11, 16, 21. Oh, well, look at that, 12:03:22. So there, I could have done this 5 days ago. We're gonna get Endling. Having a really hard time sleeping in one block. I've been loving Genshin so much. I'm glad that you're enjoying it, Trombone. All right, best narrative. Let's see. I really enjoyed the Scarlet Violet narrative, not gonna lie. Beacon Pines was a good narrative. Immortality was a good narrative. Xenoblade was pretty good. Endling was a real good narrative. Citizen Sleeper was a really good narrative. Ugh, Norco was a really good narrative. Arceus was a good narrative. Gosh, can I give it to a Pokemon game? Endling was great till I finished it. Endling, Jade, I have a lot of mixed feelings on. I think I feel about Endling how you feel about Death's Door. Except I did finish it. But the gameplay in Endling really made me frustrated. Citizen Sleeper, I'm giving it to either Citizen Sleeper or Pokemons. I think that's got to be the two that I'm between. And I feel like Citizen Sleeper just had a more important story. I don't know. The Found Family's real good, though. We're going to give it to Citizen Sleeper. Best gameplay of the year? Y'all know. Y'all know what it is for me, man. If Endling didn't have a map, it would have been awful. I wish it would have stayed on the screen. Those were two things about the UI. I wish the map would have stayed on the screen, and I wish the clock would have stayed on the screen. For some reason, the clock faded, and the minimap didn't stay on the screen, and I was like, why? Well, for what reason? What is that helping? Okay, Game of the Year. My GOTY of the year. My Game of the Year. Drum roll, please. I mean, I hate to say it, but I gotta give it to Arceus. It was my favorite game of the year. It was the game I played the most this year. It was the game I enjoyed the most this year. That's my list. Best of 2022. I hate to say it. I hate to say that Arceus. Maybe I shouldn't give them two. That's not fair, right? We need to give that to somebody else. I screamed and cried and yelled at them on Twitter. The game was a real sad ending. I can't give it to two. What was another really good gameplay of this year? Besides, you got a gun, right? That was the best narrative of the year. Let's see. Best gameplay. Neon White. There we go. There we go. There we go. I feel better about that because then I'm not giving Arceus 2. So there's my list. Chats in the clap, please. These are my games of 2022. The best multiplayer game I played this year was Overwatch 2. The best soundtrack I heard this year was Sonic Frontiers. The best art direction of the year was Endling Extinction is Forever. Gorgeous game. Best narrative of the year was Citizen Sleeper. Best gameplay of the year was Neon White. And the game of the year overall was Pokemon Legends Arceus, which was ironically like one of the first games I played this year. I guess other than Inscription, but Inscription wasn't a game this year, so I couldn't put that up this list. But yay! All right, we did it! Look at us. Look at us. Gameplay is Neon White. Yeah, I feel better about that. I couldn't give it to Arceus, and I couldn't give Game of the Year and gameplay. And Neon White is arguably better gameplay. But honestly, there's a better game than Arceus out there. It's just my GOTY. My GOTY. This is my subjective list. I feel confident. I feel confident. All right, what we're going to do now is we are going to... We're going to take a quick second to do the things that Xando redeemed. Pretty sure Neon White is likely my GOTY. It's definitely the game you've spent the most time with, hasn't it? I mean, do you keep track of hours on Steam? Like, do you pay attention to what game you've played the most? I bet you that's got to be your most hours, yeah? Okay. Xando redeemed Gachapon and Movie Game as usual. And we're going to do that. I'm going to fill up my coffee, and we're going to start off. I know I have 150 or so in that. That's cray. Can't believe you snubbed the Breakers like that. I will snub the Breakers till the day I die, dude. That game was awful. That game was so bad. All right, Gachapon.
I'm going to find the Krabby Patty formula in this Gachapon eventually. Crabs.
Grabs. Grabs. Shoot. 0 for 2 today, not doing well. Hey, Xando, you get a bonus movie game. Look at that. Look at you. Let's go for it. 2 movie games in a row. All right, I'm going to read you one, and then I'm going to... what do you use for that voice thing, by the way? That is FakeU. FakeU.com. Yeah. Deep fakes. I come up with, like... I don't know. I think I have like 50 random lines now. And so they're all different. They all have something to do with Gachapon. So there you go. That's the Super Smash announcer. It's a lot of fun. All right, Zando, here is your first one. And remember, folks, Zando redeemed this, so let him answer first. If he can't get it, then it'll open up to the rest of the chat. It's 2 movie titles combined into a movie. I read the description of those 2 movies combined. They do flow naturally into each other. Here we go. After teleporting themselves to an alien world, a quadsum of scientists explore their newfound powers while awkwardly running into each other at multiple nuptial events and a singular burial. After teleporting themselves to an alien world, a quadsum of scientists explore their newfound powers while awkwardly running into each other at multiple nuptial events and a singular burial. Coffee time. Doo-ba-doo. You knew that one. Congratulations. Fake You does have a cute fox as their logo. Fantastic 4 weddings and a funeral. Chats in the clap for Zando. That is the answer. Yes. Didn't even see that. I had it before he read it a second time, and now he'll never believe me. Nope, never will. All right, here we go. Another one is Kylo Deathstroke on Sith Snoke. What happened? Okay, Joe had a lot of fun with this one. Here we go. Kylo Deathstroke on Sith Snoke precludes Luke Cloak, fall then float, on land circled by wet soak, where pups are revoked from townsfolk. If you guys don't know, the Valley folk put these together. Joe Beretta of Barats and Beretta writes these. And, okay. We'll see if you got that one. He decided to have fun. Kylo Deathstroke on Sith Snoke precludes Luke Cloak, fall then float, on land circled by wet soak, where pups are revoked from townsfolk. It's actually really easy. It's actually very easy. It's just silly. I'm going to read it one more time just because it's so ridiculous. Kylo Deathstroke on Sith Snoke precludes Luke Cloak, fall then float, on land circled by wet soak, where pups are revoked from townsfolk. That's hilarious. What a goofy response. We'll see. We'll see if you get it. It is easy. This is an easy one. You just have to really use his... Yep, you got it! Star Wars The Last Jedi Isle of Dogs. Chat's in the clap for Zando. Oh, good job, my friend. Good job. What a ridiculous prompt. Okay. All right. I think that's it. We're going to play our game now. We're going to discover this game. I'm very curious. I'm going to do a quick poll just because I want to make sure that I'm getting the right idea here. Have you ever heard of the game Off? Yes or no? Significantly shorter duration. All right, 1 minute poll in the chat. No way you just casually said Barats and Beretta like they were very known. I feel very known here. Yeah, Barats and Beretta are known. Are they not? Are we not internet people? Come on. Are we not all internet people here? We all know YouTube. I know at least Perry know Barats and Beretta. Do I need to drop another poll? Do you know who Barats and Beretta are? I hope this game has a really good soundtrack. I'm counting on it. Counting on a good soundtrack here. But I want to know who's ever heard of this game. So I'm dropping the poll. Dropping the poll because I'm so curious to see if we are truly going into this 100% blind. I feel like we are. I feel like this game is crazy unknown. The fact that only 1,500 people have played it on Backlogged is pretty crazy to me. Let's look up GG. Let's see how many people have played it on GG. I assume they are movie games, folks, but I don't know them. You don't know Joe Beretta? Joe Beretta? Yep. Mm-hmm. Shame, Zando. You definitely have... well, not definitely. Given your love of some things, YouTube, you've probably seen them somewhere. On GG, there are 10 people playing this game currently. I know the old stuff. Haven't seen anything recently. They broke up. Joe Beretta did his own thing for a while. Then he worked for Smosh. Then he broke off from, or no, hang on. Barats and Beretta. What was the name of the thing? SourceFed. Barats and Beretta, SourceFed, Smosh. Then he started a thing with 4 of the SourceFed people called Valley Folk. And now Valley Folk is still kind of going around. So that's the flow. I found them all on SourceFed. I was a big SourceFed fan whenever that crashed and crumbled into the ground. I can't figure out how many people have ever played this game. There are 10 people currently playing it. See, GG is not as good as Backlog. It's just not as good. All right, let's see our poll results as I turn off Spoofy. Poll results. I'm going to say unsurprising. Yep, 100% no. We are playing this game totally blind, totally for the first time. We're all going to get to experience it together, and I'm so excited. I am going to have to figure out how to get the right window because it is not. Oh, hang on. We're going to full screen it. And we're going to see if it'll just draw the full screen. Oh, we don't need that. I don't plan on using a gamepad. Let's see if it'll just full screen naturally. It's loud. Is it loud for you guys? It's either loud or just very unsettling. Maybe a little column A, a little column B. Ooh, that's too big. Pourquoi? Why so big? Uh-oh. Okay, there it is. We're gonna have to drag it below me, though. Yay! Do the Bible in a minute. I'm not against looking up hints, walkthrough, tips, and tricks. Yeah, we're gonna see. We are gonna see if this game is real challenging or very easy or somewhere in between. I don't know anything about it, but you guys can already see the art style, right? You can already see the aesthetic. This is not gonna be a game that is gonna blow your mind aesthetically like God of War, right? Let's get into it. Let's get right into it. I'm excited. The translation team would like to dedicate this third and final version of the English translation to the memory of Felix the Judge. Rest in peace, we love you. So this game is French, and this is 3.0. Caution, okay, all right, okay. Remember what I said earlier? I'm going to go ahead and double down on that. Caution, it is possible that certain scenes in this game may prove shocking to an unwarned public. Or maybe not. The soundtrack and sound effects of Off, created by Elias Conrad Coldwood, are an important part of the game. It would be a shame to play them without them. I love that. Yes, thank you for a soundtrack. Unproductive Fun Time. That's a nice logo. That looks encouraging. All right. Well, we are obviously Czech. Okay. Your name is Czech, correct? Yes. I'm a boy. All right. Welcome, Czech. Thank you. You have been assigned to a being called the Batter. Me. The Batter's on a mission. Be sure that it's accomplished. I will. We will let you both out in Zone 0. Good luck. For more information, find the one called the Judge. I guess I know what I'm doing. Seems pretty straightforward to me. I won't be able to pay as close attention to this as I'd like, so I'm going to lurk and work. As always, we'll be posting this to our YouTube channel, so if you guys want to watch the VOD at a time where you can focus better, that is totally kosher. To move my body, use the arrow keys on your keyboard. Yes. To interact with the environment, use the space bar or the enter key. Done. All right, floaty stuff. This already reminds me of the Underground, yeah? That's a very Undertale aesthetic. I wonder if that's where Toby got it from. Ooh, Zone 0. Well, I guess we beat the game. I guess we win. I found it. All right. Oh, you are not as friendly as your sprite. Oh boy. Okay.
There cannot be any living beings in Zone 0. Hence, I deduce that you are a pure fragment of my imagination. Nevertheless, I will introduce myself. I am the Judge, and I am aching to know your name, dear illusory interlocutor.
I'm the Batter. I've been entrusted with a sacred mission.
It is a pleasure. Although it was not the body I was addressing, but the soul that it harbors. What is your name, Controller?
I'm Czech. His name is Czech, and he can't talk to us. I'm trying. However, he can see and hear everything.
Even though you too are but an imaginary specter in my eyes, let it be said that I am delighted to meet you as well, dear Czech.
I believe we need your help. Off. Ooh, boy. What's up, Kuro? You're the one who knows about this game. None of us know anything.
Many people are in need of my services, you know. Everybody loves cats.
I love cats. I love every kind of cat. I can't hug every cat.
We rub ourselves against their legs and purr in a most insistent manner. They adore that.
I'm not talking about that kind of help. Good morning, Kuro.
I see. But what sort of service could I offer to an ectoplasmic entity?
I have a sacred mission to fulfill. I must purify the world.
There is no objective more laudable than yours. I accept to serve you as a guide through this area, if it is of any help to you.
Thanks. So is this Artorial? This guy sounds like he knows Baron from the Baronis.
Yes.
A luck ticket has been found. Thank you. Oh. It's impossible to get around this obstacle. I'd say impossible. Better not even try. Oh. Do I need to, like, take a picture? Quite peculiar. 448287C. Do I need to take a picture of that? Do I need that information? Is that important? Okay. Okay. That's fine. Is that the cat?
Allow me to inform you that I find you quite tangible for a phantasmagorial being. Might you in fact be a person of flesh and blood?
I think so.
Then I was mistaken from the beginning, and you did not even interrupt me in a fanciful phantasms. This is relatively bizarre, I must say, for you are the first living being I was given to encounter in this place. I had incidentally concluded that Zone Zero was an empty land. It is all too obvious that I was led astray. However, there exist other zones, and in those territories hostile individuals might attack you most violently. Your sacred mission will likely lead you into these lands. Would you like me to acquaint you with the art of violent confrontation?
Sure. Yeah, I need to know how to be violent. Will you show me how to be violent? Oh, you're so disturbing.
This is the battle screen. As you can observe, you will find yourself placed at the right-hand side of the screen. Your opponent, however, in this case yours truly, will be located on the left, the correct place for a single combat. At the beginning of combat, a choice will be presented to you. You have to decide between attack and auto. Naturally, attack allows you to engage the fight in the classical fashion. If auto is your choice, the computer will make the strategic decisions in your place, turning you into a simple spectator. But now, it is time to make an attempt. Choose attack, select the battle, then choose attack anew to slay me with your bat. Do not utilize the auto function. The computer will not restrain itself, and I fear I would die, taking my secrets with me to the grave.
Oh my. Okay. Oh, that's an attack bar, huh? Okay, so this is live attack. Interesting. All right.
Excellent, dear sportive companion. Know that both the level of the batter and that of his opponent determine the impact of your assaults. It is also possible for you or your adversary to slightly avoid the offensive moves you will exchange. Finally, on occasion, your concrete may allow you to release a critical strike, causing teeth to fly in heaps. But let us proceed if you are willing to. You may have noticed that when you first chose attack upon selecting the batter, a new window opened itself in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. I did. There, you have the choice between 4 new options. Attack lets you carry out a sole strike against a likewise sole adversary.
I like how much this guy talks! With this voice!
Competence permits you to use one of your special talents. Objects lets you access the inventory you are presently carrying. Finally, flee is the option of a coward. While I detour from these alternatives, know that only the batter may select it in his personal menu.
What was that? The batter can select it? Like, not me?
So, let us attempt to utilize an item. Take this luck ticket and graciously use it on the batter's person.
Luck ticket down. Oh, gnarly. Alright.
Impeccable. Your mastery of battle borders on brilliancy, my friend. But here's one thing we may not have yet addressed. I am, of course, talking about competences. There are, generally speaking, special moves that trigger surprising effects. It may be that they are particularly powerful attacks, or such that they induce a resurgence of health points. Nevertheless, know this. Any use of competences leads to a consumption of competence points. So I suggest that you use your skills with parsimony. Once your CP are consumed, it will be impossible to carry out heavy assaults.
Your sprite a map of Florida? Is your sprite? Oh, I see. Yeah, it's just reversed. Yep, a little flipped version there. Love it.
And if by some mischance you happen to cross swords with a tougher opponent before recovering some CP, your victory will be uncertain. Let us try right away. Choose competence and try using wide angle, which will allow you to analyze your enemy.
You got it. The batter is pure? What does that mean? There's like status effects? Okay, interesting. I'm going to go through the chat because I feel like I got lost here a little bit. Glad I'm awake early enough to finally watch Nate today. We're glad you're here, Jay. Absolutely. This is like the one with the robots where we're looking for the light. Yes, very similar to One Shot, very similar to Undertale. We're getting a lot of those there so far. Good morning, Chuck. Thanks for those stickers. I was able to fight some away from the kids, but all their school notebooks are covered now. Yay! Love it. Concerned that'll happen to mine too. Absolutely. Got to use those stickers. That's kind of fun. It must be heavy on combat instances. I'm getting that, but it's like that live. It's like FF10 or no, FF11. I think was the first one that did the live battle mechanics. So that's interesting. Nice of them to teach you how to play turn-based. Yeah, I'm really only doing it because I want to make sure that like there's nothing weird, which I already wouldn't have known what competence meant. I wouldn't have been able to figure out that that was special attacks. Florida. Go Adderall, go. A cryptic feline of odd appearance. He's got 300 health and 30 CP, no weaknesses or resistances, the judge.
You now know not only all about my attributes, but also about the art of combat, about the wide angle. Know that its analysis will always be based on the start of the battle.
Weird thing to say. Okay.
Thus, it may accidentally analyze adversaries you have already knocked down for a long time. The confrontation ends, theoretically, when the health points of your team, or all of your opponents, falls to 0. Take good care of your health if you want a successful career in purification.
Sure.
From now on, you'll be ready to dispose of all impure obstacles that dare appear in your luminous mission's way. Well, supposing your intelligence is on the same level with your undeniable capability of dealing bat blows to an innocent cat. Be it as it may, your training has not yet reached its end. Let me ask you to follow me if you still want me as your guide.
He goes so fast. Okay. Oh. Easy puzzles. Easy say puzzle.
Ah, yes. To pass through, it will be necessary to use your cerebral organ correctly. You know, the one bathing flabbily in your cranium. I think that those floating blocks correspond in some way or another to the symbols you can see on the wall.
What is the water noise? Is this all in-game audio? It is. 1, 2. Oh, whoopsie. 3, 4.
I did it! I solved the puzzle!
Uh-oh. 1, 2, 6, 8, 2, 3. Ha! Okay. I get it. I think. What is the water noise? Dude, this week has been tough and the weirdest cat ever is making things so much better. I'm glad to hear it. It's definitely strange. 1, 2, 6, 8, 2, 3.
Ha-ha! I am the puzzle master! It is me!
Uh-oh. That's the puzzle from the beginning, isn't it?
Aha, finally! After all that effort, the long-awaited reward makes its entrance to the scene.
I knew I should have taken a picture of it. I'm going back up. It was like 287483 or something. Uh-oh. Oh. Okay, hang on. I'm going to take a picture. What is C? I'm taking pictures from now on. Ah! I didn't just drop my phone. You guys don't even know what you're talking about. It's not healing my back, but this is amazing. I'm already into it. I already like the aesthetic and I like the vibe. It's creepy and uncomfortable and the water noises are weird, as Perry said. I'm into it. Okay. 448287C. I did it.
Crunch, nom, nom, crunch.
Oh, well, that would have been nice to know. A piece of silver meat? What did that say? Okay. Did you see the sale on Disco Elysium yesterday? Picked it up for $10. I did see that, but I already have it on Switch, and I feel like I just need to play it.
Here we have an accessory that will prove especially useful to your purifying quest, dear enlightened student and sportive friend. It is a cube, floating in the air, as you have probably noticed. Nevertheless, you'll be able to differentiate it from its ilk by the contrast of its clashing colors, assaulting your gaze with bad taste and defying any sensible course of plastic arts. Do not judge it too quickly, however.
Oh, this voice is putting so much spit in my throat.
For despite its criticizable appearance, this red cube is of undeniable use. Aside from restoring the entirety of your health and competence points, it is capable of saving your progress and sending you to the nothingness. The nothingness is a place of transition, outside of space itself, where you can travel from one point to another at the speed of light.
I have to do cable management help. Oh boy. Yeah, I do not envy you.
I do not envy you. I now invite you to try for yourself in order to discover locations more populous than this deserted land. Open your wings, my dear companion, and fly towards the following zones without hesitation. Your only enemy is the fear that will grab you. Okay. Do not worry yourself. I too travel much between the different zones of the world. Perhaps we will come to meet again. Oh, and by the way, take these. These items of a curious name will be the key that shall permit you to enter Zone 1. Have I clarified that you can at any moment consult your inventory and characteristics by pressing the escape key? You hadn't said that. The Leo card has been found. Well, thanks. Health points and competence points completely restored. Save game. Yes. Thank you. And return to the nothingness. Back to the nothingness. Here we go. Woohoo! Oh, that's very different. That's quite different looking, isn't it? Am I supposed to touch you? Am I supposed to get you? Are you my friend? I don't like the sounds. I don't like these sounds. These sounds make me uncomfy. They make me uncomfy. Whoa. Ah, okay. These are the sounds. Let's name the zones, the zones, the zones. Let's name the zones of the open sea. Downloaded WoW and Destiny 2 yesterday. Gonna work on a gaming schedule so I don't fall into an MMO rabbit hole. Yeah, I have to keep playing new games. The good news is that I don't get too into the MMO fever. Sleeves, ties, hooks, and Lego mirror help? No. Seriously, dude, you got this. Just take them one at a time. Be patient with yourself. You've got it. A lot of devices, I guess. Moving to a standing desk. Ooh, that sounds so nice. I've thought about it forever. Are you unplugging everything and rerunning it, or just bundling everything in sections? Okay. Health points restored. Save game. We're in a new space. Okay. Bye. It said world map, and then a question mark. Hey, everybody.
Tramway number 1 is a very useful means of transport to get to the different areas of Zone 1.
Thank you. I feel like maybe that's important. I'm going to take a picture. We're taking pictures of all numbers and letters and stuff. Here we go. Okay. Please select your destination. Obviously, I want to go to Damien. Come on. Oh, it was my background. Why did that show up? What? Why is my background here? What a weird thing. What a weird thing for the game to do. It's green. It's green. Why? Why is it green screening? Do I have green screen turned on this window capture? I do. Why is chroma key on here? Why though? All right, well, turn it off. Goodbye. Why did I have that chroma keyed? You know what? I think that was the window we used for one shot to drag over the front. Yep. Yes, Perry. Look, same. Oh, it's Damien. We're gonna take a picture of Damien. We made it to Damien, you guys. That is funny. I was like, what is happening with this game? Like, is it broken?
Tramway number 2 hasn't been coming for a long time.
Oh, hello.
I'm a visitor.
That's me.
Welcome to the Smoke Mines. May I know who you are? Are you an inspector?
No, I'm the batter. I've come to exterminate the impure spirits.
The batter? The impure spirits? Are you some sort of prophet? Or perhaps a man of belief?
Yeah, something like that.
Who sent you?
Nobody. I'm being led by Czech.
I don't know him. He must be a member of the superior personnel.
The smoke mines where they mine smoke. That's what they do.
In any case, that's good. That means our requests have been approved. Now I'm going to explain your task.
Oh. Okay. Okay, JPEG.
You're here in the smoke mines Damien in the south of Zone number 1.
Yeah. Tell me more.
Here, we send laborers into deep tunnels to unearth metal from the ground, freeing trapped smoke from the depths. Using various tools, we put some of it into bottles, which the Queen sends to the other zones.
The Queen, you say?
The rest of it flows free and forms the air that our lungs inhale and exhale, so, we can live.
Johan?
It's an essential element, the first among the 4 elements. Ah, yes, the 4 elements. Smoke. because without smoke, people would have nothing to breathe. There we are. And so, well, how do I put this?
Where are the impures?
Yes, there we go. There are many specters in the mines, and they're getting more and more aggressive. But in fact, it would be good if you wouldn't go there, because the regulations forbid access to the smoke mines for visitors. So here's what we're going to do. There's an annex tunnel that nobody ever goes to. But a miner went in there some time ago, and he saw something strange, he said. Nothing like the usual. So I thought maybe that's the leader of the Spectres. So there we are. If you accept, you'll go into the annex mine and kill the leader of the Spectres. Then the Spectres will disappear, and we can work properly again. Here we go. Any questions?
No.
Ah, great, impeccable. The tunnel's right down there. And me, I will wait for you here.
Can I go talk to more people? I want to talk to this guy up here. What's his deal? Oh, that's the smoke mines, I see. Well, I would like to talk to you as well.
Soon I might be promoted. I'd be able to do surveillance in Ulma. I'm anxious for that to happen.
Okay. Oh, wait, there was a chest there. A luck ticket. Can't wait to find out what those do. Because I didn't really understand what happened whenever I did it to the cat. Okay, I can't really observe the... Oh, it's the cat.
Well, what do we have here? Is that not Jack and his charming jumping Jack the Bather?
Might you be the Spectre's leader?
No, certainly not. I am only passing through, not unlike the smoke which is being extracted from this pale and metallic place. However, I believe I know where the one you take for an ectoplasm can be found. To tell the truth, I am perplexed. I think it is one of those peculiar things called a spherical atom. I have very well tried to appropriate it, but the operation has systematically failed. But I am thinking, maybe you, one who is not a physical matter, will perhaps succeed in binding this spiritual entity to yours.
I mean, why not? Add-on Alpha has joined you.
What an exceptionally intriguing phenomenon! I must admit that I remain perplexed by this unexpected metaphysical reaction. Fair enough, since it has decided to accompany you, I know only to advise you to make the best possible use of it.
Got it. The leader of the Spectres isn't here?
Apologies, but I fear I have to respond in the negative. This add-on aside, I have not crossed paths with a single moving soul in this place. There's nothing here. This is sort of a spot that I am particularly fond of. What you seek is certainly located elsewhere.
Okay. Lil sus of the cat.
Ah, you've returned. So have you killed the leader of the Spectres?
No, it wasn't there.
Oh, really? Bugger, crap. I believe that I'll have to let you enter into the main gorges then. So, but the regulations are against it. All right. I suppose this is a very special case, as stated in paragraph 5. So good. Well, main mines are on the right. There.
There are phantoms down there. They keep us from working properly, but this is my break time anyway.
What are you doing here? Are you part of the mine inspection personnel?
Yeah, I am. That's me.
You come to eliminate the Spectres? That's good news. Lamps don't always work in the inmost corridors, but since everything looks the same around here, it's easy to get lost. There are phantoms in all the tunnels. Be careful, sir. And besides, who's let you in here? Normally the regulations prohibit external visitors. Yeah, I've noticed that all you guys look exactly the same, so... Alright, I guess it's time to fight. Show yourselves, corrupted children. I'm the voice of forgiveness that'll eliminate your ill-fated forms. Okay. Good morning. Okay, prepare yourselves to receive my judgment. I look so solemn. Ooh, I got a donut behind me. Alright. I guess we're just gonna go for it, yeah? I'd like to wide angle first. Common Spectre times 8. Mysterious ectoplasmic incarnation. HP is 10. Light resistance against smoke. Are we just covered in gore? What happened with the alpha? Oh, they're attacking me. Okay. I like the music. That's really nice. It's like jazzy. Game volume is too high, thank you. Whoopsie. Oh, hang on. Maybe we'll have to wait till this fight is over. Almost over anyway. Boink. Okay. We'll take it down by another 6 decibels. Adversaries purified. 400 experience points gains. 80 credits received. Luck ticket received. Luck ticket received. Luck ticket received. Luck ticket received. Okay. Goodbye. This add-on is fighting by my side. That's useful. Let's purify the other galleries. What is this? What is this? Where am I? What am I doing? What am I doing? Okay. Okay. Do you have any competences? No. Anything I can equip to you? Alpha Father add-on pure 80 credits audacious symbol. Okay. Oh, I'm the savior. Wow. I don't know what that means. I don't know what any of this means. Okay. All right. We're gonna figure it out. Is the game volume better? Please let me know. I turned it down by about 100%. But if that's still not quite enough, then I'll turn it down even more. 2 pieces of Belial's meat have been found, or Belial, maybe? Whoa! Ugh. Ooh, I don't care for them, in fact. In fact, I don't care for them one bit. Those are Magnolia, a floating severed head. Light weakness against meat. Chronic migraine. Oh, no! No! Please don't attack my alpha! What do I do? How do I heal the alpha? Okay, so Fleet is available. Well, I want this early experience, so I'm not gonna not fight them. Could drop down by another bit. Okay. We'll go down by another 50% this time. Well, where's my mouse? If I could find my mouse, that'd be wonderful. Wait, wait. All right, there's another 50%. All right, bye, Kuro. Cell coverage is bad. I'm sorry. Have a good day and stream. We'll see you around. God loves you. We love you. You matter, my friend. Okay, nothing down here. Oh, it's a friend. Hello. I'm working. I'm being productive. This is back at the beginning. Whoa. I really got to figure out where to heal, man. He's almost dead. I wonder if the luck ticket helps. Does the luck ticket like health? Alpha achieved level 2. Congratulations. A saturated string has been acquired. I was just thinking this morning I've always wanted a saturated. Oh, there we go. The luck ticket does. Yes. I was just saying I wanted a saturated string. Okay, we're going to wait. Whoa, no. Okay, well. I hit the wrong button. I'm assuming we're going to get a lot of those, so I'm going to be fine using them. Special attack with low impact. So can I equip that maybe? No. It is a competence, maybe? Oh! Oh, I didn't realize that was a door. Well, how am I supposed to know what's a door and what's not a door? The Joker's been found. What is this, Persona? What is this, some kind of Persona? Purification. I want to see what his competence does. Special attack. Okay. Ooh. Nice. It does so much damage. I love the music. I really do. Lurk for work. Best of luck with this Creepy Creeper game. It is Creepy Creeper so far. I'm excited for it, though. I'm into it. See, like, is this a door? It was a door. How was I to know? Oh. Oh. What? Did you come from the smoke mines? Yes. But it's full of specters in there. Yes. Are you a specter? No. Then who are you? Have you been sent by the Queen or by Dadan? No. But you still know how to fight the specters. You could destroy them? Yes. Oh, that'd be great. And they're specters in the large cow sheds. Cow sheds? Yeah, yes. Another story, huh? Am I supposed to be here? Did I do something wrong? You're here at the Metal Farmsteads in Pintel in the east of Zone 1. Well, our work consists of cutting livestock in two and extracting the metallic rocks contained within the cadavers. What is this world that we're living in, huh? The cows have rocks, the mines have smoke.
All the metal of poor quality is discarded, forming the ground we walk on. The rest is something, because I clicked way too fast. I'm very confused. A part of it is also put into crates and sent to the other zone, so they have objects and soil as well, I suppose. So I'm walking on Cal? It's an essential element, the first among the 4 elements. No, the first is smoke.
We've already heard this.
Because without metal, people would have nothing to walk on, and they'd sink and drown. And so there are specters in the large cow sheds.
I must purify the mines first.
Ah, yes, but cow sheds aren't that big, and it'd be good if you took care of them fast, because the Queen's Inspector is going to arrive at any moment. So please, could you do the cow sheds first?
All right.
Ah, great, thank you so much. Oh, the cow sheds are right over here to the right. They aren't big at all, you'll see. It's going to be done super quickly.
Okay.
These balls are heaps of processed metal, which are going to be sent to other zones. They're metallic.
You're going to destroy the specters. Hurry up. We're expecting the Queen's Inspector at any moment.
Save game. I suppose. Did I do it? It's important to pay close attention to the nutrition of the animals if you want high-quality metal.
Yikes.
5 specters left. Okay. I like that it gave me a counter. Boing.
Oh, he looks spooky.
He doesn't look as nice as the other one. Fat Spectre! Oh no! Not Fat Spectre! Ooh. That was nasty. Oh, I gotta attack his bubbles? Cool. Alright, I like that. That was neat. A neat little way of doing it. 4 specters left. Friend. Another one. I understand why they added auto. I guess it just multiplies with each one, you know? Yeah, I mean, I don't see any reason to not auto it unless it's a new enemy. He do look real spooky, though. Hang on, am I doing 0 damage? Definitely looked like I was doing 0 damage there for a second. I need health. Save first base has been acquired. Okay, so this time I won't auto because I want to know what that is. Oh, there was one. Get out of here. I want to attack with my competence. Oh, perfect. Well, what better time? Interesting that only the alpha can defend. I can't defend. Or I didn't see it anyway, if I can. One specter left. Should we heal first? Because it feels like it's kind of weird that he's like in a separate area. No, we're okay. Oh, wait, that boy. No. Hey, that boy. Oh, you're exactly the same. Locked in the next 6 months. Don't tell anyone his name is one of my favorite streamers. Aw, Jay, you're the best. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Jade is also one of our favorite streamers, but don't tell anyone. If you'd like to spin the sub wheel, let me know. Clockwise, counterclockwise, and how hard you'd like to spin it. The cow shed has been purified. You know, that's a sentence I didn't think I was going to hear today, but here we are. It's been heard. Oh, is that the queen? I am really... I have no idea who that is. Is it the queen? Because she looks like she's got a pretty smile. Quiet, you pitiful buffoon. No. Yes. Has it been long since he went inside? Who is this? All right, well, that's their voice now. I don't know. No, of course. You know nothing. I should have known. He will eliminate the specters.
And how does he think himself capable of destroying those stupid phantoms? He thinks himself better than you, better than the Queen.
Is that maybe the Inspector? Well, that's the voice of the Inspector now.
No, I don't think that.
Shut it. I didn't ask for your opinion. You all think you're more intelligent than the others, but you are all the same. In any case, this is hardly important. The phantoms will erase that conceited individual.
You think you won't?
Of course not. Nobody here is capable of fighting the phantoms apart from the Queen's officers. If only you listened to me more often, you wouldn't keep making fools of yourselves.
But then who's gonna destroy the phantoms?
I could have done it, but you don't deserve it. Too bad for you, you'll just have to take care of your problems yourselves.
I know, but please.
I'm leaving now. I'm returning to Alma. At least the people there are polite. They don't constantly cut you off.
But please don't.
Goodbye.
I don't know who you are.
Get out of my sight.
No,
I beg of you, get out of my way right this instant if you want to keep your position.
Folks, as usual, our rule here on stream is the game may contain wordy dirds, but I will not read them. If the game performs them for us, then that will be the way it is, but I'll keep it family friendly as far as my portrayal of the game. Counterclockwise 1, you got it. I'm going to start using that as an excuse. Sorry I can't make it. I gotta purify my cow shed. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just busy. All right, counterclockwise 1, that's very light. Got the voice of Ernie for this game. Yep. It was a big deal. You know, it was a big get. It was a big get, but they worked for it. Are you got a gachapon, Jake? Gachapon.
I asked for pictures of Spider-Man, and all I got was 2 quarters for a gachapon.
Oh, it's super quiet because this game is crazy loud. Whoopsie. All right, you got a Dragon Ball. Not the last Dragon Ball, but a Dragon Ball. And it is the 2-star Dragon Ball, my friend. Congratulations. The 2-star Dragon Ball. We got one more until we summon Shenron. We're very close. Very close to summoning Shenron. All right, I'm going to go ahead and save first. Who was that person?
You're alive.
Yes.
And the specters?
The cow shed has been purified.
You must be very lucky.
Who was that person? Another gachapon. You got it.
For pictures of Spider-Man, and
Are you
all
trying
I
for that
got
other
was 2
Dragon
quarters
Ball?
for a gachapon.
We've only got 2 gacha balls left, so I'll have to start writing them down soon. It was not the other Dragon Ball, but it was a health dice. The way that we do the health die, or any of the dice, is if it is a crit success, then you get to pick a game for a bonus stream. If it is a crit fail, then I get to pick a game for a bonus stream. If it is anything in between, then it is just a bust. It is a bust. And another gachapon. I'm beginning to think you're after something.
What we want from the gachapon.
That's the one. That's the ticket. You've done it. Grandpa Gohan himself. The 4-star Dragon Ball is here. Chat in the clap for Jake. Jake, you get to pick a bonus stream for us. We still haven't played your other bonus stream, but you know, that's just Checkpoint Church's style. We'll get to all these bonus streams eventually, probably. But yes, just let me know whatever game you'd like me to play, and we'll make it happen. All right,
That was Dadan. He's the Queen's inspector.
you mean Spectre.
No, the Queen wouldn't employ a specter. He can't be one.
But he's evil. I must destroy him.
No, don't do that. He's an enemy. He's an envoy of the Queen. You'd better go complete your work in the smoke mines, please. In any case, he's in Alma. No one can go there without proper authorization, so please return to the smoke mines.
All right. Okay. Little weird. Little uncomfy. I'm sorry, are those cardboard cutouts? It's half of a cow. Oh, no! I see what they've done here.
Extracting scrap metal from cows isn't what I prefer, but I do my job well. Maybe I'll be transferred to Alma.
Once you've extracted everything from the carcass, you slice it into pieces and eat the meat. We agreed that one shot fit in the retro theme, so you did my last one. Oh, is that right? Okay. I prefer working here over the smoke mines. At least you benefit from the outside air. One shouldn't get attached to animals. Once you are, it gets difficult to put your hands inside. Gross. Thanks for sharing. Please never do it again. I know I need to go to the smoke mines, but I'm just too curious. Oh, okay. This is Pintel. I'm going to take a picture. Pintel. They say the names of the metro stations coincide with the names of important people of the past. I have trouble imagining that things weren't always the way they are now. Okay, I don't need to know this. I guess that's it. I need to go back to the smoke mines. Smoke mines. Okay. Ooh. Oh, is it dark? Okay. Oh, it's spoopy. Ooh, it's spoopy in here. Ooh, it's spoopy. Okay, more severed heads. That's fine. I wonder when I'll be able to use credits and on what, you know? They're definitely giving me a lot of health. Okay. I have no plan. Ah! Okay, it's more fat ghosts. So far, it's giving me more Earthbound vibes than anything, if I'm being totally honest. It's like Earthbound meets Omori. Okay. Another Spectre down. Whoa! I'm so confused. I got turned around. Now I don't know where I am. I wasn't expecting that to be a big open area. Maybe that's where we started? That would make sense. Nope. Oh. The switch is currently on. I just flipped the switch. I bet this is open now, huh? Right, I was. So what was up, I wonder? Hello there. And what's your name, sir? You're very strange looking. All right.
The characters are starting to pile up, aren't they?
Pardon?
What I'm saying is that the average player doesn't read all these complicated and tedious dialogues. There should be more action and fewer questions.
Who are you?
I am Zachary, the traditional items merchant that's necessary to every video game. I'll often find myself in places you're going to visit before you. But enough talk. I'm not one of those protagonists you have to listen to for hours. So why not let me see the color of your credits?
Okay. Interesting. Can I do any upgrades? Ooh, some defensive equipment? Okay. I mean, I got tons of credits. I got enough credits to buy all these. Yeah, the in-game laugh is a little uncomfy. All right. How many can we afford? I guess let's buy one of each of these. No. Uh-oh, I can't remember what's back. And then can I afford two of these? Looks like I can. Whoa, I said two. All right. Okay, how do I equip them, I wonder? I have plenty of those. I guess I need maybe one of these because I don't have any. Better to have it than not have it. Okay. What can I sell? I don't have anything to sell. I guess I will in just a second. Oopsie. I keep forgetting what's yes and what's no. All right, you need you got your bat. Oopsie, no. But you need the Aura of Justice and you need the tunic. Okay. Oh no, what? Man, this game is so weird. The controls are so strange. What are we playing today? H-Man, this is a real strange game called Off. It is a new game. Well, hang on. You know what I should have done? I'm not going to say because I'm going to sell to this guy first. It is a game from 2008, so it's actually not new at all. I don't know why I said it was new. Oh, never mind. I didn't sell anything. I'm guessing I'm about to fight a boss because they just gave me a merchant. I just thought you were very excited about playing Games Stage, man. Huh? What? How? Where did you come from? I come from the smoke mines. But how? But that's impossible. Not a single lamp works in there. You can't. Faith guides my steps. What's that now? You know I'm a pastor? Do you know I'm a pastor? Faith guides my steps. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. I'm getting some themes. I'm picking up on some themes and tropes. For Faith. My mission is to purify the mines. But it had seemed that the phantoms are particularly numerous. The specters? Where am I here? They really like these JPEGs. You're here at the plastic administrations of Shachihara in the north of Zone 1. Basically, H-Man, we are the batter. We are the batter who is here to purify the world, and I am Czech, controlling the batter. I am known, but I don't know what that means. I'm going to get some more coffee. Need to top it off. I guess I could have picked a scene that was a little bit less silent and creepy, but I didn't. All right. Our work consists of filling in forms. Afterwards, we package them and wrap them up with string to send them to the courier service. There's going to be another one where you are the god of the world. I mean, the description of the batter was savior, so I'm going to say it's probably not unlikely. There, they ship the packages, and in exchange, we receive parcels full of plastic. Hey, what do you guys think? Is plastic the another element? Is it the first element? Any bets? Any bets? I'm betting so. There's a lot of liquid plastic that forms our lakes and oceans. And then there's solid plastic we use to make various objects. Is this just this zone that has 4 elements? It's an essential element, the first among the 4 elements. I'm picking up on a trend. I'm picking up on a theme. Because without plastic, the world would be limitless, and people would keep walking and walking without ever stopping. But you hunt the specters, really? Yes, I'm purifying this zone. The specters, I know where they come from. They all come from the Postal Service. It's true. It's true. USPS, man. The Postal Service. That's where we take care of sending the packaged forms. The problem is that nobody can remember the floor where it's found. Okay. I can remember. Oh, okay, so I gotta find the mysterious number? I don't know. I guess I gotta do some exploring. Are we currently on the basement? Okay. So let's take the lift to the ground floor. Let's see what's there. Ground floor, reception. You guys seem happy. Everybody happy here? Cool. Yeah, no, you seem happy. You guys all seem happy. I'm gonna guess you're all just gonna say a form and a stamp. Please tell me these are not floors I need to go to. Please tell me these are not floors I need to go to. I'm getting a bad feeling because they're all exactly 5 numbers long. Oh, no. Please, no. Ooh, S. Ah, yes. S indeed. All right, so we're in another spot. Shachihara. Take a picture. We're going to keep taking pictures until we figure out something that's going on. There was a 251. Okay, so there was at least one that was less numbers. Ay, ay, ay. All right, I'm not going to talk to all of them. We're just going to go to another floor. The roof is 9999999. Oh, hello, cat. Hello again.
By Jove, you again! You are decidedly everywhere. One could even believe you were following me. Yet your footsteps have not deceived you, for you're here in a place that could certainly use sacred blows from your holy bath. Perhaps you're already aware of this, but it happens to be that floor housing the administration's postal service is haunted by ectoplasms. It'll be most judicious to find a story where all those intangible monsters arise from post-haste in order to slay them. But could it be that the task is too arduous for your narrow mind? In which case, I might perhaps be able to provide you with advice.
Sure.
Open widely your ears and listen well, for I will not say this twice, not even amidst the most pathetic pleas. In one of the 4 rooms on the ground floor, the employees inside seem to be trained under the particular directives. Additionally, if there was a choice to be made, I would choose the lowercase over the uppercase. That is all. Okay.
Lowercase over uppercase. Here we go. Stamp is all lowercase. So remember that guy has stamp all over. Oh, wait a second. They're all lowercase. Do I have to try every floor? Wait. Are they all the same? 1,258? 1,258? 1,258?
But now I'm so tempted to try the other number. I'm so tempted. I'm so tempted.
It's a little sus that all of those were 1,258, don't you think? We're going to try it. 10,000. 10,258, right? I mean, that just feels a little sus. We're going to try it. The greatest gamer.
No one?
Oh, there's somebody here, dude. There's it. Scared me up to death. I'm the batter. Where are the phantoms?
I'm very afraid. Help me.
You the phantom. You the phantom. You the phantom. Wow. Wowzers. You're the phantom. You are burnt. Employee of Zone 1 in poor health. I would say you're in poor health, buddy. You know? I would go so far as to say you might be in poor health. You got a long neck. All right. You creepy. You creepy.
Maybe it's his suit that has taken control of his brain.
Strange. I'd say so. Very strange. Area 1/2. What is this? Harry Potter? Something strange is written on this form. First version, they lie 6 feet under, surrounded by hot metal and liquid plastic. Something strange. Second version, they are 8 and they have long beards. They watch what is happening from their high silver spheres. Oh. Cute. Tabersi, flying ghoul with bad intentions. You guys got bad intentions, don't you? I'm picking up some bad vibes out of these boys. Very interesting. I received an eye. 2/3. All right, all you gotta do is find 3/4. Something strange. Third version, a soul big insect whose mandibles spit meat. Thanks, but no thanks. Fourth version, they are 4, each one attributed to an element. They protect their respective crystals. Oh, there's 3/4. This is the one. No way, it actually kind of is. It kind of is. Because here's a guy. Last version, there are but 2 in the secret zone. Access to the secret elevator is unforbidden. Did I say secret? I must pass. Really? No, I think that's impossible unless you have the code. No, that's not the code. Okay. Code time. I don't like those long neck guys, man. They creep me out. They're spooky. They're really spooking me. Oh no, my CP is gone, huh? Okay, well I guess I need to use an item or something. Because I need CP. Okay, that's the one. No! I keep forgetting that A is... it's backwards. Alright, I'm guessing there's another code over here. Whoopsie. Am I supposed to be writing these things down? Are these going to give me the code? I have a feeling. I get it. 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 Alright. I get it. 5th version. 5 like the fingers on a hand. Yep. Okay, we're going to do... Okay, back we go. We got to read them all again. Third version, a soul big insect. Third version is 1. Second version, 8. I had a feeling, I even thought about taking a picture, but I was like, nah, this just feels like lore. Not lore. Not lore. It's a code. It's a code. Hey, run with courage has been acquired. Is that a fleeing method, maybe? First version, 6 feet under. So far I have 6, 8, 1, 0, and 5. I just gotta find number 4 and then the last. Oh no, wait, I wanted to see what my new thing was. Oopsie. We'll learn eventually. I think the 4th one was over here. Wait a second. I did not go up these steps. Okay. I'll take it. Pretty sure it was over there. I'm pretty sure it's you. 4th version. There are 4. Okay, all I need now is the last version, which I believe is right there. Mild unlark, but this game clearly has some Undertale inspo. Well, reverse it. But yes. Alright, 681452. Undertale definitely was inspired by this game. No! Stop it. Okay. 6, 8, 1, 4, 5, 2. The code, it is exactly correct. Of course it is, I'm a genius. How? You must not pass. I don't want to die. Well, I guess we're fighting. This time before Undertale. This game came out in 2008. Undertale came out in 2015. I'm going to Alma. It'll be nice. Alright. Good, a save point. Okay, the director's office. I got a bad feeling about the director. Oh no. Oh, it's that guy. What was his voice again?
Pitiful buffoons, disappear this instant. This is my zone. You are not to be here. Out of my sight, you phantoms. You. It's you. The source of all my troubles. The ectoplasmic lord who has set his sights on my beloved zone. What do you want? Why have you decided to be such a pain? I have dedicated my whole life to this place. You have no right to corrupt it with your pathetic phantoms. Begone!
You're mistaken. I'm not a phantom. I'm a purifier. I've come to cleanse the world of these ectoplasmic beings.
How dare you respond? How dare you think I will just swallow these insults? Listen well. This is simple. Get out of here. Take your spectrums with you, or I am going to kill you. I hope for your sake that I've made myself clear. If I see you again, you're dead.
The tramway will now stop in Alma.
Long grand.
Well, why was I to save there? Okay. I guess I'm to go to Alma. That feels like the next logical spot. Clearly, I'm supposed to kill that guy. And his wordy dirds. Hey, Dat Boy, what's up, buddy? I'm not allowed to let anyone pass unless they answer some questions. Okay. 2 of them come from Jerusalem. What? Where did Jerusalem come from?
The Holy Trinity is made of crocuses. Our Lady wears jersey number 8. How many 3s are there in June?
How many 3s? 3, 13, 23, 30. That's only 4. It's none of them. 19, obviously.
Cyril, Kevin, and Jonas. 1 or more of your answers were false.
All right, well, I guess I got some research to do. What? What even? All right. What even? Oh, wait, not here. All right, Elson, Damien. I don't know if I'm like scene breaking or if I'm just a confused little boy. But I feel like I'm like not doing what I'm supposed to do. What did it just say about yellow blocks? Okay. Okay. We never went down here, did we? There's a door, but it seems to be locked from the inside. Okay, well. Maybe I'm not off. Maybe I am where I'm supposed to be. I thought I was going to get a party. I wonder if I wonder when I get my party, if I get a party. I almost want to pull up a map, so I'm not just wasting time. But I don't want spoilers. I don't want spoilers, I just want a map. Hey yo. Don't poke me. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell everybody, I caught my shiny Charmander this morning. And I'm very proud of myself. Very proud of myself. For finally getting that bully of a Charmander. I never went up, remember? Who are you, dude? Who are you, friend? You're January. You're a ghoul with dusty breath. I'd say. How was your time on Mad Men? All right. That was the rare January Jones joke. You don't get those very often. All right, what is this way? I've been this way? Yes. See, this is all somewhere I've been before, though. No comprende! I gotta find the answers to those questions somewhere. Yeah, see, this is where I was earlier with the elevator. There's gonna be the elevator up here. Maybe I need to try some of the other names, the other codes. Like 35461. Various offices. Uh-oh. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't think so. This is too many things to try, right? Surely that's barking up the wrong tree. Surely. That just means I got it wrong. I hope. Well, gee willikers. I feel like it's gotta be down in those mines, because the mines are not cleared yet. There is still very much specters down there. So let's go this way maybe. No, there's nothing else. Huh. Where's that cat when I need him? That's just gonna take me over there. Ah, okay. This is new. Good. Cool. Hey, X's and O's. You're very cute. One-eyed specter, cunning ectoplasmic incarnation. Oh, I like them. They're sweet. I think they're kind of cute. So I guess I did. I guess I scene skipped. I love that it has an auto battle, because this would get so old if I didn't have auto battle. That must mean it ain't even about the battles. It ain't even about the jewelry. I got so much jewelry, it ain't even about the jewelry. I bet I only need to know how to battle whenever it comes to the bosses. But these little goofy gusses are unimportant. It's my running theory. Hey, level 5. Another orb? Yep. So I guess I gotta go through all of the signs, huh? Yep. Cool. I'm picking up what they're putting down. Consider it picked up. Another one? Yep. Hey, it's my orb. The best orb. There's no orb quite like the Gemini orb. It's the best around. What do you think that symbol is behind me? Do you think is that pure decoration, or is that going to be something? Just thinking I could see it being something. I kind of didn't expect this to be a dead end, if I'm being totally honest. Hey, good job, Alpha. Taurus. I did not expect this to be a dead end. Gotta be real. Now I'm even more confused. Well, let's heal up so we don't die. Lord knows we got plenty of luck tickets. Huh. So what do I do with all these orbs? I got a bunch of orbs, but nothing to do with them. Oh, okay. Interesting. We're gonna save those. Because I don't know what's going on anymore. Hey buddies, does anybody know what to do? Anybody know what to do here? Because your boy's confused. Your boy's a little mixed up. He's having trouble. That's a box. Down there was a locked door, yeah? Am I in the wrong space? I don't know. I feel like I haven't eliminated the specters. I have not done my job that they requested of me. There are still specters here. Like I did the job for the cows, you know? Why is this different? Pretty sure it's just a box this way. Are we still in the post office? No, we've gotten past the post office. We unlocked Alma, but Alma asked me a bunch of questions that I didn't understand. And so I felt like I probably needed to do more. We're just exploring the mines because I want to know how do I take down the specters. There's just a bunch of specters, but there's no boss. Yeah, I've already explored this. It's a box, pretty sure. Good news is that I'm racking up on luck tickets. See, if I go right now, that's going to be the exit. If I go up, it's going to be the a treasure chest. If I go left, it's the thing that I use to unlock. Whoopsie. If I go left, it's the thing that I use to unlock the things to the right. Maybe there's more to the left. We're going to try. That's the only thing left in the mines. We've explored everything else in the mines except for that locked door. There was an up, so maybe it was up. Maybe I need to turn the switch back off. I don't know. It doesn't sound likely. Maybe it's up. Perhaps it is up. That's what we're going to try. We're going to see hashtag what's up. Nothing. Okay, so it's not in the mines. We must need to move on. Is it in the post office? Are there more floors we need to go to in the post office building? Maybe I need to try some other codes. There were so many codes. How could I know which one? Just making sure. Okay. Nothing else I can buy from him. Maybe if I go back to the roof, the cat will give me a hint. Whoopsie. Cat, will you give me another hint? Yes. I did have that. Wait, I think so. That was at the very beginning, though, wasn't it? 9554. Let's just try the next one, I guess. 94254. 94254. No, it's just various offices. Wait, it wasn't even the floor I said. It wasn't even the floor I said. Look, it's just giving me random floors. I'm barking up the wrong tree. Unless I know a code, I'm not doing the right thing. I have fought January. I've collected all the orbs. Are you kidding me? Okay, all right. I think I got it. I think I know what to do. All right. The month of the winds. We're just going to take pictures. We're going to cheat like that. Oh, it's just 3. Okay. Nice. Okay. Not allowed anyone pass. Let the answer questions. Answer. Okay, 2 of them come from Jerusalem. There ain't a thing about Jerusalem on here. There ain't a thing about Jerusalem on here. That wasn't helpful. Was there more I could have seen? So weird. This is obtuse as can be. How many 3s are there in June? I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Could I scroll? I must have been able to scroll. Abaddon's meat? I think so. Okay, hang on. Up and down is observe, left and right. Ah, okay. Okay, yeah, there was more I could see. All right, Nito. I thought I tried hitting down, but you have to hold down. Here we go. That's an upside down 7. Okay. Okay. Now, no more hints. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna do it. Here we go. Okay. Answer questions. 2 of them come from Jerusalem. 2 of them come from Jerusalem. And 1 from Orda. The Holy Trinity is made of... Okay, that's on 3. Roses. Our Lady wears the jersey number 6. How many 3s are there in June? All right, you said 12, but that's not an option. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, I think. 21. Oh, no! Okay, well, it's got to be 22 because it's definitely 21. Cyril, Kevin, and... What? Cyril, St. Kevin, and Jonas. I think. Okay, all your answers are correct. But there is one more question. If you turn the month March upside down, what 2-digit number can you read? You are a piece of work. I knew the 7. Ooh, no. Oh, no. Is it 81 or 87? Come on. Is it 81 or 87? I'm going to try 87 because I think that's what they're trying to trick me to say. Thank you. That's correct. Correct. Oh, they're haunted here too? Okay. Man, I didn't even see those pictures. I just thought it was part of the background. Well, whatever. We did some grinding. We're a little stronger than we would have been.
My nails are all dirty.
Oh. The water's red. I don't care for the red water. I'm here to see Dan.
Dan, yes, of course.
All right, are we about to find out the 4th element? Okay, what is it going to be?
You're here at the meat fountains.
No.
Huh. You're at the meat fountains of Alma in the center of Zone 1. What is the meat made from? Here, meat flows freely, endlessly filling the immense metal pools in which we find ourselves. I'm guessing that it's going to be the 4th element, the 1st element. Okay. Our work consists of pouring this meat into bottles before the fountains overflow. You guys have some weird jobs. The meat is then sent to everyone, to those living in Zone 1 and the others. It's an essential element, the first among the 4 elements. No, it's not. They can't all be first. Because without meat, people would have nothing to eat, and they would devour each other. Gross. Master Dadan has an office in the center of the fountains, but nobody's ever found it. Generally speaking, Master Dadan seems to only appear when necessary. Well, there. Who are you again?
I've come to liberate the world of malignants.
Oh, really? Well, then, can you liberate me?
Sure. As a vegetarian, that makes sense to me. Yeah, this is just real life. This is what makes sense. This adds up. Furious Home Run has been acquired. I like the sound of that one.
Maybe things will be better now.
Oh, it's you again. Do you have new items? What did he sound like? He sounded like salad fingers in my head.
Bonjour, Jack. In good form. Perhaps you have some credits to spare.
Maybe. If you have something new to give me. Ooh.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, we need 2 of those. No, no more. And we need 1 of these. And that's all we need. And I would like to equip it so that then, oh, nope, then I can save. Nice. Headway. Okay, now I can sell things. Yep, I can sell that. Thank you for the money. And I can sell that. Thank you. Cool. And now I'm going to go save. I just got under my desk treadmill. I am healthy now. Very nice. That's all it takes to be healthy is actually just, nobody tells you this, but just owning a treadmill makes you about 25% healthier. Let me work. Okay. Okay, buddy. I'm beginning to think that the people in this zone aren't well. Exactly. I just bought it for the stat boost. Yeah. Yet I've never been ill. Pedalo recovery point. Call a pedalo? I don't know what that means. Yes. It's rare in a game that something happens that is exactly what I want to happen. And I can't think of anything better than calling a pedalo and it being that. I mean, I can't think of anything that would make me much happier than that being what a pedalo was. Now those I don't care for. Can we have more pedalos, please? Troquintaries, aquatic ghoul with a radiant smile. I do like his smile. I do need to take a picture because there was definitely like a number or something in the bottom corner. Whoopsie. Such a strange game. So number 1-4. Okay, up we go. Oh, 2-9. 3-8. 4-2. I wonder what that could mean. Are you gonna bring me back up a dollar? I don't want to be burnt. You guys keep saying that. Keep saying that, and I don't know what that means. I'm taking pictures, Hunter Fan. For sure. I'm gonna need to keep track of all of these myriad of numbers.
Well done.
All right, Pedalo, I'll be back. You stay safe. Oh man, there are just Pedalos everywhere, huh? Okay. I don't want to be a phantom. Of the Danny variety? I wonder why I did a Furious Home Run there. I wonder why my character was like, that's what I want to do. These little creatures are really interesting looking. For any of you that ever played the Faith games, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from this game. It's very similar 8-bit style. What's happening to me? Oh, I know what that is. But I don't think I have the proper clues yet. We're not productive enough anymore. I hope you guys don't respawn. What I don't know is the order with which to type those numbers in. That's where we find ourselves. I'm not working, then who will? Okay, Goku. All right, Padala, I'm assuming there are going to be more numbers down here. Got that right. But which one is right? Whoa! Good morning. Which numbers are the right numbers? Ooh. I wonder if my other Padala could have done this. Interesting. I bet it could have. Nope, it could not have. No, I can figure it out. Give me a little more time. This whole treadmill thing might actually be game-changing. I'm sure it will be, dude. That's fantastic. I had a treadmill growing up, and Loki kind of miss it. Kind of miss that treadmill life. Okay. Okay, so that's interesting. So I had to go the way I went. 1, 4, 2, 9, 3, 8. So if I had to go the way that I went, it makes me think that that's the order. So I'm going to try all the white numbers in order and see if that's what it is. And I'm going to try all the black numbers and see if that's in order. We'll just find out, won't we? There has to be some reason why they are the color that they are. Okay. Let's pull up the pictures. All right. First was 1. Uh-oh. Not a good start. 2. I am the biggest dummy in the world, dude. 4. 1 is literally the order. Such a doofy dummy. 9. 8. 2. What did I say, Stained? I don't know, man. Look. 6. 5. 9. C. Ha ha ha! Did I do it? I just go back down? Are we good? Are we kosher? Are we all fine? We all feel good about this? Theoretically, I just go back down here and they're done, yeah? Checking back in. Are you in love, Zando? I wouldn't say I'm in love yet, but I'm definitely real curious and engaged and want to know more. Gonna save. I'm into it. I'm into it. That's all I'll say. Hello, cat friend.
I wish you good day, dear omnipresent companion. Soon, you will have been able to admire all the scarlet and ultramarine landscapes of this zone. You seem distraught by the unique architecture of this place. If such is truly the case, you should learn how to concentrate. So, as to be mistaken, no more in your choice of opportunities. Proposed to you at every corner in this maze. Next time, linger and ponder a little longer before traveling one of these trapdoors, you young drunkard.
Please don't call me a drunkard. Okay. All right. Okay. First up is up. 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 Right. Up. Right. Down. Down right away. Nope. Left. Is that a good thing? Because I got in a fight. An Arpagon, a four-legged ghoul with a heavy breath. Very curious. I do love the monster designs. I think the monster designs are really good. That's something I'll say so far. I'm pretty confident. All right, so left. So whenever it fades, is that right? Yes. Okay. So left, then up. Let's try right. Left, up, right. Up. No. All right, left, up, right. Hang on, I'm going to write all this mess down. Let's go ahead and start taking notes. Left, up, right. Left, up, right. Right. Yep. Up. No. Okay. It's fine. Left. Up. Right. Right. Down. Yes. Left. Okay. Or just mess with me. Hydrate. You're right. You're right. You're right. I need my brain to be well hydrated. Okay. Left. It is. Up. It was. Left. No! Okay, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. Okay. Wonder how long this is. Left. Whoa, what? What's up? Whoa, what's up? Hold up. Hold up, homie. Left. What are you talking about? Up. Did it change? No, we can't change. What are you talking about? I wrote it down. Left is first. No! It changes? What do you mean? What do you mean it changes? Yo! Okay, I guess it knew that I couldn't get it. I don't know. That's very strange, whatever it just did to me. A Joker has been found. I guess I'm about to fight this boss. I don't understand. Am I the dummy? Or did I solve it? And that was what it was saying, was like, good job. I almost had it. I had 6 units. 7 units. Are you certain you were about to give help? Did I do it right? What was the actual answer to the puzzle? Are you certain that you want to pass it to his gate? Yeah, of course. I'm going to give it a shot. You, by the Queen's 1,000 faces, are you crazy or just completely idiotic? What part of I'm going to kill you wasn't clear to you? I'm here to eliminate you. You're insane. I am the guardian of Zone 1. It is nothing without me. What mental illness enables this blind faith, hiding the obvious from your eyes? Listen to the music. I wasn't right. Well, I guess I was. So did it end up just giving it to me? Is that what happened? I'm the one who's going to purify this world. And you're the past that eats away at this land. Prepare yourself. Ho, ho, ho! You will taste the pain, you sick spirit. I'm going to cut your face to remove your insufferable smile. Okay, Dadan. Well, isn't that just wonderful? It doesn't tell me. Let's give you some poison, huh? definitely thought it was just a code. I don't know if I'm supposed to just be wasting my combat points like this. Oh no, he's asleep. Oh no, they asleep.
Wake up!
Okay, good. Come on! Wake up! Wake up! My goodness, this is worse than a Pokemon battle. Why would I attack with anything other than combat points, you know? I guess to heal would be nice. Why was he furious for just a second? What was that about? Ooh, he's speaking in some kind of symbol. That's not French. Something seems a little off. You're Pal Duke. Have you heard of this game? Or are you just making fun puns? Are you making fun puns, or do you know this game? Because I don't know this game. I'm just learning. You do know this game. Do you think I'll like this game? Because I'm very curious. We're just getting started. This is the first boss. I don't understand anything that's happening at all. Never seen it, only heard of it. Interesting. Whoa, whoa! No, hang on, I wanted to do something. I need to heal. No, stop auto-attacking! No! No! Oh dear, this is very bad news. I guess I'm gonna need to use an object. Hopefully it doesn't go to sleep. We definitely need help. Attack the speech bubble. Ooh, no. Kind of forgot that was a thing. Is he getting 2 attacks in on us? Because of the speech bubble? Man, how much health does this guy have? Energizer Bunny everywhere. See, I'd never even heard of this game until I was on Twitter the other day and happened to see it in some person's art. I need help. Good thing we have plenty of it. So curious. How much health you got, homeboy? Keep going. That's all of his combat points. Ah! We did it! Yay! Adversaries purified. 3,000 experience points. That's so many. Ooh, cancer card. All right, cool. Is that the last one? Have we received all of them now? Level 7, level 7. Converted string has been acquired. He's a joke. lost! Lost!
You are defeated, Dadan, guardian of the first zone. This land is now pure.
Ooh, okay. Yes, I'd like to save, of course. Oh. Hello there. And who are you? A baby? You just had a baby? Hello there, little baby.
That didn't start well.
What? Who are you, dude? Who are you, dude? All right, well, I guess I purified the... Whoa! I guess I purified the zone. I kind of want to go back. Can I go back and check the other zone? Now that it's pure, did something change? Is it different? The color's gone. And the bus is gone. Okay. I think they're all gone. Oh. Oh. I guess everyone is gone. A fortune ticket. Is there whispering? Is there whispering? I want to see if this door is still locked. I don't care for them. I don't care for them. These guys, I don't care for them. I don't care for the secretaries and their weird heads, dude. Could we maybe not? Could I maybe never see these guys, I don't know, ever again? Is that okay? I don't like them and their weird little faces. I don't think I'm supposed to be here. I'm getting a weird feeling like maybe I've skipped something. Getting this strange feeling like perhaps I'm somewhere I shouldn't be. Anybody else getting that vibe? Okay, it's still locked. We're gonna get out of here because I'm just getting a vibe. I'm just getting a vibe and a feel that this is not the part of the game that, ooh, really uncomfortable with them. Gotta be honest with you, really uncomfortable with the way they look and with the faces that they have. And I would appreciate never seeing them ever again. They make me mad uncomfy. Oh, he's muted. As one would be. Uh-oh. Oh no. How's he not dead yet? Oh, I am dead. Okay. Well, either way, I wasn't supposed to be here yet, so I'm probably just going to let the characters die. So Furious, it takes control. Yeah, we're just going to let him die. We're going to let him die and go back to the last save point. Game is over. Okay. Now, here we are. Back in Zone 2. We're not even going to talk about Zone 1. We're not even going to talk about Zone 1 ever again, okay? We're not going to talk about creepy, weird-looking spirits. Zone 2! Aw, how nice. How pleasant. This seems like a fine place to be. The lower part, and then the library. Okay. Oh, is that the library? Oh.
Yes, we should no longer lend any books to that man. He tears out the pages. It's almost dangerous. Yes, I'm going back upstairs. Hello, I'm the library. I should point out that the upstairs floor is inaccessible because of the specters. There are phantoms inside this building? Yes. Why? I'm going to eliminate those impures. Destroy the specters, but you could get hurt, and there's nothing up there. Only walls, shelves, stairs, and an old cat. A cat? I'm going up to purify that floor. Okay. Don't make too much noise then. And the third floor is not really accessible. People have torn out of the pages of the books there. So I don't want people to go up there anymore. It could be dangerous. Yeah, you said that. I'm doing nothing wrong. I like looking at the wall. You know, I didn't think you were doing anything wrong until you said that. This is a large building. Oh. It's not easy to find your way back outside. Everything looks the same. Okay. This is fine. Upstairs we go then. I prefer the fake books. You can't damage them. Those look like entrances. Don't turn the pages. It makes too much noise. Oh, okay. Fake shelves. There's a visible base under the real ones. Oh, this book is labeled Bismarck. Read? Yeah. Makes me uncomfy. Makes me uncomfortable. All right. For afterwards, she instated 3 guardians responsible for watching over the zones. The Firebird was designated Lord of the Second Zone, the Eternal City of Bismarck. He was the tallest, the most beautiful, and the most just. Okay, this title's titled Up Children Down. $700,000 up children down of sin at the Queen's sit at the Queen's order. The many gentle ones. They are the physical incarnation of evil, immortal deeds in the world, forever lost in their silly madness. They are beyond redemption and immortal. Only the Queen herself, when the foul battle comes, could mandate the immortal force that is the Up Children Down. Chapter 2 of the Apocalypse and the Dead Hades. Some shall upper to all souls impaled be there. Something shall be tortured forever by the hordes of the something. Okay. I'd like for that font to never happen again. Tales and Legends. The Toad King. Now this one I can read. A long time ago, there lived an evil king with countenance so repulsive, he was called the Toad King. One beautiful day, a masked man presented himself at the sovereign court and spoke these words. Good day, O evil monarch. Leave and return peace to thy people, or taste mine blade and perish at its end. The king responded, I am the king, and thou art my subjects. Thou art not to oppose mine will. Thus, the masked man brandished his épée and killed the king. The end. Goodbye. What? Okay. Do I need this picture? Something. I'm just getting a vibe. Just getting a vibe. We're going to take a picture of that. Boink. Book of Revelation isn't like I remember it. All right, I'm taking a picture of that one. Point. The cardinal points. I would like to read it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take a picture. We're going to flip it around. Thank you. It is not necessary to know the cardinal points in the Pink Fortress, as there are big arrows showing the directions painted on the walls of the library. See the next page for the 4 symbols and their respective cardinal points. All right, the bold arrow is south. The clip art is east. The play button is west. 2 lines up is north. Easy peasy. No matter what way I hold the book, it stays upside down. Not if you take a picture of it. There's no title on the cover. Read ya. I have run out of crayon. I have run out of everyone. I have run out of crayon is what I'm going to say it said. Explanations, I would like that. Index. Introduction, the creation of the modern world, the Guardians, the Queen and her son, the 4 zones, Zone 0, the Toad King and the Merchant, Appendix, Glossary, Author's Notes. Written by E.S.
Oh, that's not this language. Okay. This seems fine. I think this is fine. I wasn't supposed to go to this floor. There's a book with a page missing. Read it. This is the story of the 3 guardians chosen by the queen to move the zones, islets of the nothingness of the world. The first, Dedan, was tall and short of temper. His firmness of character is something feel enraged. The second was kind and generous. He always went off in all directions, never ceasing to give more security to his subjects. There's a page of a book on a wall. Read it. Wait, take it, did it say? All right, well, that is clearly a 3 of clubs. The third was just horrible. The zone. We're happy. Oof. Okay, well, I'm going to take this page. Did it give me the option to take other pages? The Ace of Hearts. Or Ace of Spades. Ace of Spades and 3 of Clubs. I'm going to take a picture of that. Picture time. Ah! Okay. Oh, hello there, friends. You look kind. Competence, wide angle, I need to know who you are. Upside down specters, inverted ectoplasmic incarnation. As well. Yeah, this game's real strange. I like the puzzly nature of it. I'm enjoying the puzzles so far. I'm enjoying the art style and the aesthetic. So far, the story doesn't quite have me, though. It's so short, I'm definitely going to see through to the end. Read the book. Okay, that's the 4 of diamonds. This is the story of the 3 guardians chosen by the queen to rule over the zones. The first is to... Oh, this is a little more clear. Was beloved by all. Interesting. Okay, so I gotta find a missing page to add up to that one, huh? Bet it's this page. Yup. The 3rd. Okay. Why is that one like cattywampus? What's the deal with that, you think? So I saw I could take the page back, so I wonder if I've got them wrong. If there's a particular like matchup that I have to do, like maybe I have to make them add up to 21 or something, you know? 2 of clubs. Okay. 5 of diamonds. Do I have to match up types? I'm getting that feeling. Okay, so let's find which page has diamonds. Except, hang on. This isn't quite right. Because I've only found 3 pages. The second one was diamonds. This one was diamonds down here. See, so now this is 4 and 5. What do I have now? Ace and the queen? Maybe. Yikes. Why are the baddies upside down? Is that a clue? Hi-yi-yi. There's got to be another page somewhere. Okay, now that's 2 and 3. There's one more missing. I don't see a page anywhere. Excuse me, sir. Do you have a missing page? Do you have a missing page? Check every book. I did, didn't I? Or are you talking about even the fake ones? Just make sure there's not one on the wall up here. So you got these windows for sure. For some reason, I'm reading your check every bookshelf in the tone of Climb Every Mountain from Sound of Music. Check every bookshelf. You read it in the same melody? No way. Yo, 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 what's up, Stephen Ridley? How we doing? And what's up, Ed? Welcome in. We're playing a very strange old indie game, not that old, 2008, called Off, and we're a little lost. I'm checking every bookshelf. I guess I can't see which one of these have a base, you know? There's always a chance that it does. Did you find the Up Children Down? I did. I didn't like it, though. I don't want to read it again. I'd like to not read it again, if you don't mind. If you are on the log, though, and you by any chance wanted to just type what it actually said or copy-paste a translation because that text was illegible, that'd be swell. Tales and Legends? I'm pretty sure I read all of them. I read all the ones with a base in it. And maybe, now I didn't try ripping a page out. Maybe I need to rip a page out. Did you try turning it on? Did you turn it on and back off again? No translation available. That's not true. It can't be. I will do the hard work. I will translate it. Because I was able to read some of it. Yoinks. Nope. I'm well, Ed. I hope that you are. I'm actually having a great Thursday. Nothing so far. Bottom 2 rooms. Maybe there's something in the chair. Movie game. You got it, Steven. All right, your movie game prompt of the day is: after bad dudes kill his dog, angry assassin dude goes off and kicks butt across an island of pagan dudes until he is ceremonially conflagrated inside a giant wood dude. After bad dudes kill his dog, an angry assassin dude goes off and kicks butt across an island of pagan dudes until he is ceremoniously conflagrated inside a giant wooden dude. It is John Wickerman. It is John Wickerman. Chats in the clap for Steven. Chats in the clap. You got it. Did I read? Ooh, did I read ES? I did. Again, though, I haven't taken any of the pages from those, so maybe I'm supposed to take a page from them? Maybe? I'm still not giving up. Don't give me the answer quite yet. I appreciate the gentle steering and not just the outright. I'm gonna check every bookshelf. Check Every bookshelf. By the way, I skipped that part. This game is 14 years old, 2008. It is a French game, a little indie RPG Maker game. I did read the cardinal points. I took a picture of it and turned it upside down. I read every available bookshelf. All right, we've done it all. We've looked at every single one. Let me look back at the books. Hang on. I've run out of oxygen. Is that what it said? No, Hunter fam. I'm pretty sure it said I ran out of crayons. I'm pretty sure it says crayon. Okay. Yes, I have. I've read all of them. You saw crayons too? Yes. I'm so glad to know that I'm not losing my mind, because that is absolutely crayon to me. Yeah, I read all the pages. Hey, that's the symbol that's in the background of my fighting scenes. That's kind of neat. You saw oxygen on the first glance? It's only because somebody already said it, Steven. You would have seen crayons. I think it is oxygen. Now that I see oxygen, it's definitely oxygen. All right. You might have to tell me. Yes, I did repair the 3 books. I thought I was looking for a 4th page. See, there's the ace and the queen of hearts, or the queen of spades. They're connected. The diamonds are connected. The clubs are connected. They're all connected. Except for this one up here, where I didn't find any other hearts. A cleric symbol has been found? Yeah, I did get that message. Is that a thing I have to equip, maybe? I did get that message. Okay, I did it. What do I do now? It has it. You know what? I'm beginning to think this might be a bit obtuse. I'm just beginning to think this might be a not very good puzzle. The other puzzle was certainly gettable. How would I have known this? Okay, I know what that symbol means. That means that we're headed west. That means north. That means east. That means south. So am I supposed to go to a certain side? I have no fear. I know not how to have fear anymore. I'm not afraid. Do you want to know how? If you're not scared to know, ask me. The page has taught me. I'm not afraid anymore now. Do you want to be free from fear? Give me 100 credits and I'll give you the page. Here, I'll give you the page. Thanks for the page. We can't get to the park. Maybe it's better that way. There has to be a good reason. All right, so I guess now I have the page. Okay. Okay. I can't help but feel like that was somewhat ungettable. Maybe it was in the Bismarck, but I sure don't remember seeing it in Bismarck. Okay, I've done it. Let me through. Okay. Maybe I should. You know what? I was just thinking that to myself. I was just thinking I should have a talk with the receptionist. I put the books back in order. Really? That's good. I'll let you go further up then. That's great. The third floor is now accessible, but only for you. Thanks. So who was in the other spots? All right, now things are getting real. Oh, it's the cat. Hey, cat. Whew. It is not the cat. That is not our cat, and I don't care for that cat's face. I don't like his face.
Who are you? What is that?
You're not the judge.
The judge? No, that is not my name. My name is Japhet. I am the creator of this city. I am also the one who leads the phantoms, the royal instruments of my vengeance.
You're the leader of the specters?
Precisely. They are my arms, sent to me by the Queen to restore justice to this zone. You must have been quite ardent to have set foot on the stairs to this library. I recognize you in a certain courage, an exceptional trait in this fear-riddled place. However, my vengeance will not leave anyone unpunished. Therefore you shall be the first to succumb to the blasts of my ectoplasmic army.
Okay.
There's no need for specters yet to eliminate you. You ridiculous sport pantaloon-clad puppet. I will finally get a taste of payback.
I don't care for you at all. I don't care for you at all. Japhet. So you're the guardian? You're not the boss. So how hard do we need to go? Oh, interesting. No? Not a lick of damage? Whoa. Okay, I must have just missed or something. We're gonna go hard, man. I see no reason to go easy on you with a save point right there. Okay, I did it. Abaddon's meat?
Pitiful fool. It is not yet time for me to reveal my true nature. But know that you will soon get what you deserve, you insufferable buffoon.
An alpha! Oh, Omega! Well, now I have Alpha and Omega. Oh, lovely. And now are they there? Ah, wonderful. You know, I thought my party might be more interesting to talk to. But instead, I just have a couple of rings. What do you mean it's impossible? Must I leave? Is there anything to be seen? You're gonna bring me here just to put another wall in my way? I just got rid of walls. What do you mean? All right, well. Maybe the receptionist will know something. since that's apparently how we handle things in this place.
Are you alright?
Have you played Outer Wilds? I started Outer Wilds and I couldn't get into it.
You didn't get hurt up there. I saw a cat. It's waiting in front of the southern entrance.
The southern entrance, you say? Are you my cat?
Salutations, dear immaculate comrade. Is your journey unfolding under optimal conditions? These premises are less humid than the preceding ones. I must admit that I am very pleased about that. The feline race is not very fond of rain. I have heard from an old friend that the shopping mall in the north of the city has fallen prey to ectoplasmic assaults. Perhaps it would be wise for you to make your way there and illuminate the place with your purifying light.
Okay. Well, that's this one. Yep, that's a mall. The mall's full of specters. It's terribly frightening. I mean, you know, you can't deny that is what a mall looks like. I would implore you to find a more mall-y mall than that one. You can't. All right, do you have more powerful things to sell me?
Buenos dias, dear Czech. What better place to shop than a shopping mall?
Okay, the bat. Ooh, which one is stronger? I'm assuming the more expensive one. I wish I could read the descriptions, you know? Holy moly, there's so many things to buy. Woof! Okay, I guess we're just gonna buy the most expensive things. Because we have tons of time. Or tons of money. Excuse me, not time. Whoa! Okay, I guess the Battlesome, or the Loyal is the most expensive. Whoa! 2 of those. The David Tunic. And the Ulna. Whoa! A color of pain, a color of sadness. Sure. Okay. Let's equip them. I need my Emmanuel bat. I need my David Tunic. I need my color of sadness. Loyal symbol. Ulna. Color of sadness. Loyal. Ulna. Color of sadness. Why do you not have a defensive one? Okay. Sell. Bat. Symbols. Nicholas. Bitterness. Wrath. No. Okay, cool. Save. Nice. I feel good about that. Okay, I guess I know where I need to go next. Gotta unlock all these things. Are those spikes or are they bottles? They're bottles. Wait, am I supposed to be picking up these pages on the wall? Go with Furious Chakra. Holy moly. All right, we're in the last 13 minutes of stream here. We'll probably play this next Thursday to continue experiencing the story. I'm gonna try to find a natural stopping point. Your neckties are made from a synthetic fabric based on plastic with a registered designation of origin. What? Whoa! Wait, hang on. I kind of want to see what he looks like. Oopsie. Did I kill him? The Guild de Rey? Finally, a very mundane ghoul. Yeah, this looks like a place that's going to take a lot of time, huh? This looks like a place that's going to take a lot of time. Whoop. I can't even find my way back to the exit. Are you kidding me? Are you joking? Oh no! Well, the good news is that I did save, so it'll take me back there either way. Even if I just quit. Oh boy. There it is. Okay. So clearly, eventually, we're going to find a way to get out of here. But we're going to go ahead and save here. And call it there. Very interesting game. I'm very intrigued. I'm very uncertain. I'm still not totally sold on the story as far as it being like a crazy, engaging thing quite yet. I'm definitely down to keep playing and to learn more because it's definitely weird. It's definitely unsettling in a way that I like. It's the kind of game that I definitely do like to play, so I'm super curious about it. We're going to go log our hours over in Backlogged, and then we'll find somebody to raid here real quick. Okay, let's see. We're playing on PC. We started today. We played for like 2 hours and 20 minutes. We own it on PC. And it's 5 hours long, so ostensibly we can finish it next time. What stopped it for you? Oh, Jake needs more info on Outer Wilds. Okay, so the story with Outer Wilds is I definitely didn't play it in the way it probably should be played. I played it and I wasn't like, I didn't have the headspace to really continue on. But I kept running into this weird issue where I wanted to truly explore anything, and it very much wanted me to do a specific thing, and I kept getting killed. I kept actually falling into a black hole. Several times I got absorbed into a black hole, and I think it was the fourth time that I got absorbed into a black hole, and I was like, I'm done. And I think that was like exactly what I said to myself, to no one in particular, because I was very much alone just playing this game. So I want to try it again because everybody loves it so much and loves the story and the stuff that goes along with it. But I was not enjoying my experience. It's possible that I didn't read instructions and didn't read what I was supposed to do and just got lost. But I kept trying to do what I wanted to do, and whenever I tried to do what I wanted to do, the game was like, nope, you're not supposed to do that, and it kept killing me. And with a couple deaths, I was like, maybe not play this. But I'm down to try it again because I feel like H-Man in particular was one that like super loved it. Is music even playing? I definitely turned on Spoofy. It's just crazy quiet. Yes, okay, good. Music is playing perfect. It must just be because I turned my thing down so drastically. So yeah, I want to get back into it. I would love to try it again. Honestly, what I'm contemplating doing at this point is watching someone play it. That's probably my bonus stream then. The game will let you do whatever you want to do, but you will have consequences naturally if you don't have enough knowledge to explore a zone yet. That must have been what happened, is that I moved ahead too quickly and didn't take the time to learn. I'll put it on there. I'll give it a shot. I'll give you a bonus stream of it. It has the potential to be my top game of all time. Well, I'm down to clown. I'm down to experience it and see what goes on. I've heard the story is so good, and I love the narrative in gaming so much that it would be remiss for me not to finally play it. Now, granted, our bonus stream list is like 40 games long, so there's really no telling when we'll actually play it. But hopefully eventually. So there are a lot of characters on the off thumbnail. So I feel like I've only just begun. For a game that's only 5 hours long and we're 220, I find it very curious. In my top 3 list, and that's up there. Well, that's funny that you say that. You really do need to make a backlog because this is my top 5 that it lets me put up here. My top 5 favorite games, and this is my top 5 list. And honestly, I could probably change some of these up, but this is my happy space. These are my happy 5 games that I really find myself always enjoying and playing. So, I saw a walkthrough video that was around 12 hours long. What? What? It said 5 hours on How Long to Beat. Ain't no way. I'd play it with you in chat if you want. I might hold you up on that. We'll see. Variety Tuesday should probably be bonus stream backlog day. You'd certainly have a variety. That's very true. I could always put that on there. So we could put in, so I could always do like one game we're currently playing, a bonus stream game, one of my games that we've not started, and then a choose your own. How Long to Beat is always way shorter than it really is. So typically the way that I use How Long to Beat is I look at the completionist one. And I see how long it took the completionists. And even the completionists, it only took 5.5 hours. But we'll see. I don't want to look anything up because I don't want to spoil it for myself. I definitely want to experience it. If it's a story that gets such good rave reviews, I want to experience it in full for myself. So even on the completionist, I don't know how they get their numbers, but I'm never faster. Yeah. You're not wrong. But more than double is a lot. I always put in my completionist, or I always put in my How Long to Beat score for games that I beat. And typically I'm pretty neck and neck. Like, let's see. Milk Inside a Bag of Milk. Definitely beat that one real fast. That's a real short game. Immortality, let's see. I beat it. Does it say how long it took me? That's not really a good example because you can watch Sam Barlow's stuff forever. Let's see. Yeah. There's just no telling, man. I'm likely just slow. Well, you have to think also if you're streaming them, of course, right? Like we're having to read everything, we're voice acting, we're responding to chat, we're doing all that stuff. So if you're streaming them, especially, they take that much longer. But 12 hours, that's a long time. 12 hours is a lot of weeks. That's like 5 or 6 weeks to stream for us. So we might not be done with this game until like the middle of January, end of February, or beginning of February. We got to find somebody to raid, folks. Who's live right now? Asia the Girl is live. We always love raiding Asia. XGN Ninja is live, writing a book. What? Oh, but the stream's starting. I don't join in on the starting soon screens. I ain't gonna do it. We'll do Asia the Girl then. Unless we have anybody else that has any recommendations of who to raid. We'll plan on raiding Asia here in just a second. So folks, welcome. We're glad you're here. We're glad you've been here. Several options: Susie, Asia, XGN Ninja, Homeschool Mom. Now, I didn't see Homeschool Mom. I might not be following Homeschool Mom. Susie streaming, wow. Love y'all. Absolutely Stain. What's Homeschool Mom doing? Fortnite. Yeah, but I try to always go for whoever's got the lowest amount just so we can give them a little bump. A little bump of encouragement because I know that whenever our count is low, it encourages me. So that's probably what we'll do. Z Sarayu is one to follow if you haven't yet. Oh, and they're playing indie games. Oh, let's do that. Sarah Yu. I mean, we're playing indie games. So indie games make sense. Well, let's raid them. They're playing Wonder Putt Forever. That sounds great. Folks, we're Checkpoint Church for nerds, geeks, and gamers. We are streaming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, every other Friday. We are streaming tomorrow. We're going to have the episode of the Level 2 podcast that premiered live during our Checkathon. It has now been edited and cut up and going to be put tomorrow. So that's very exciting. That'll happen tomorrow. Let's see. What else is there? Polygon Pastor is hosting an anime watch party. Oh, man, that's also very tempting now. Tonight, we're going to be watching the Game Awards together. So if you want to join us, I'll probably be on around 7:30, and we will watch through to the end of the Game Awards. We do have a challenge going on right now. If you haven't entered, I'm afraid entries have already been closed off. So you will not be able to enter, but you can still join and watch as we tally those points and see who wins the most for all those wonderful things. So that's happening tonight, and then tomorrow is a podcast. We're back again next week as usual. We won't actually have stream on Monday, but we will have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week. Trying to think if there's anything else that I need to tell you guys. I'll see you tomorrow, so it's not like we won't see each other forever and ever. But you will see us 24/7 always over on our Discord, !Point Discord in the chat. Our Discord is crazy active. We're always having good times and hanging out in there. We'd love to have you over there. Join us. I wouldn't want to enter that. I'm always disappointed by who wins. So the way we do our competition is you pick whoever you think they're going to pick, and whoever picks the most of those correctly gets known as the Ultimate Gamer of 2022 or Ultimate Gamer of 2021, whatever it is. And so that's the title that you get. And then also, I guess we give a gift card, but that's the less important factor. The more important part is that you become known as the Ultimate Gamer. So that's what people are really vying for. But yeah, we're going to watch them. We're going to watch them together. I'm always excited for the world premieres and all that good stuff. There are definitely some interesting ones in there this time. I'm curious to see where things go, but I always enjoy watching them, and so we're going to watch them together tonight. Discord, Active 24/7, YouTube channel. If you haven't checked out our YouTube yet, we're posting nerdy sermons every single Sunday. This past Sundays was on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. This upcoming Sunday, do you guys want a spoiler? Do you want to know? Do you want to know what it's on? Do you want to know the spoiler? The secret? Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. This Sundays is on God of War Ragnarok. Don't tell a soul. Don't tell a soul it's on God of War. So we're going to talk about that this upcoming Sunday. We always got good stuff coming out on the YouTube channel. Folks, with that, we're going to go raid Z Sarah Yu. Z Sarah Yu, who's playing some indie games, because we love indie games. If you would do me a favor, we leave 3 things to be true about every single one of you out there. God loves you. We love you. You matter. And we want you to let Z Sarah Yu know that they matter. So go spam some You Matters in the chat when you do this raid, and we appreciate it. We love you. We thank you. God loves you, really, really loves you. We love you, really, really love you. And you, yes, you, no matter who you are, what you believe, whether you believe in God, don't believe in God, go to church, hate Christians, love Christians, none of those things change these things. We believe that you matter. You are a person of sacred worth. The world is a better place. Why? Because you are in it. Folks, if you would, please go spam some You Matters in the chat and let Sarah Yu know that they matter. Until the next time I see you, which might be right now on the Discord, or it might not be till tomorrow for our podcast, or it might be tonight for the Game Awards. Whenever it is, I look forward to seeing you then. All right, folks. Bye-bye.